Uh, uh, there. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Saturday Morning Live with Marty. We're going to have a woodworking chat here this morning. We're going to talk about a lot of woodworking things. The big focus is going to be talking about the holiday season, the Christmas season, and wood project ideas. Some, even for craft shows if you do that kind of thing. But more than that, just making gifts for family and friends, and just talk about different ideas and stuff. And I'm going to have a special guest on too, and I'm going to let him talk more than me, or I'll try to anyway. So it'll be fun. And like other videos or other live streams, if you miss this live, you can watch it when it's, uploaded on my channel a little bit later today. You can watch the replay. More people actually watch the replay than watch the video, the live stream. But doesn't look like anybody's on here yet. And hopefully I have all the settings right. It's always a learning process for my videos and streams. I've been doing YouTube for about 12, 13 years now, and I'm always learning. So let's see here. I'm gonna pull this out here, and I'm gonna go like this. You can kind of see here a little picture of where I'm at here, and I'm gonna have a question for y'all, and just to see if you can guess where I am at today. We got a beautiful sun coming up over there in the east. In the east is always a good place for the sun to come up. Yeah, when the sun comes up in the whoop, when the sun comes up in the west, that'll be Jesus. So yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna turn the camera around here. Uh, see if we can do this without disconnecting the live. It's always a challenge. Um, let's see here. Yeah, that's always weird when it's just me there. So, okay. Get things adjusted here. I don't see anybody in here yet. Oh, and yeah, so I'm using the free version. So I do my live streams different. Sometimes I'll do them on YouTube. Use the YouTube app actually to do the live stream on my camera on my phone. And sometimes I use StreamYard. Today I'm using StreamYard. Um, and they're different. There's good and bad in both of them. So, but I'm using StreamYard this morning, and uh, yeah, and so it's the free version. So sometimes there's like a thing that pops up. Whoop! What did we do there? I don't know what we did. Okay, I'm gonna see. I'm trying to look at the comments here if anything's. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's gonna work. I don't see anybody on here yet, but I'm just gonna roll with it like it's a regular video. So again, welcome to Ramblin' Live. Hope you're all doing well this morning. It is August 23rd, 2025. I got coffee in my wonderful Minnesota mug here. Coffee I'm drinking this morning is Black Rifle medium roast. I usually don't. That's usually I don't like light and medium roast. Usually I only drink dark roast, but every once in a while I get a flavored one for fun. And this one is hazelnut. And it only came in medium. So look at that squirrel there. He's protecting his nuts. I don't know what nuts he's protecting, but yeah, maybe both or all of them, or Anywho, don't want to open that can of worms. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking this morning, and I got a new coffee tumbler too. Ah, there's my friend Robert. Okay, so now it doesn't say that anybody's on here for some reason, but I see you're on here, and I see somebody else too. Ground fog, or somebody. Welcome. Okay, so let me know how the video and the audio is. I'm using StreamYard this time, so and I wanted to show you. I had to get a new little thermos, so I have a not a thermos, but it's a coffee tumbler. So in my truck, I'm a truck driver. If y'all don't know, I'm trucking around the country working. I'm always working, and I had a pilot truck stop one for a few years, and then the seal just started to leak. So, and I tried to use some other ones to make it not leak, and I just ended up getting a new one. So I was looking around, and I got a new tumbler. So this is my coffee tumbler. So I have coffee in my cup, I have coffee in my tumbler, and I have coffee in the pot in the back too. But uh, Robert, ground fog. Let me know how the audio and the video is right now. Video. But this is the new one I got. I like my coffee black and my tea in the harbor. I just thought it was kind of cool. Got a little historical reference there. Sorry for anybody who likes tea. I'm not a big tea drinker. I like chaga tea once in a while, and I like chai tea once in a while, and I really like chai latte. That's really good tea. I have one of those many nights before bed. Those are really good. It's got cream and sugar in it, so it's more like hot chocolate, but I like that. Otherwise, I'm not a big tea drinker, but I love my coffee. Y'all know that. Okay. Sounds good, Robert. Let me see if I can do this. So, okay. Did that work, Roberts? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got to remember how to do this again. I don't know why again, y'all, I do my videos, live streams on my phone. There's a smaller format, smaller screen, but it's just like a way I like to do things. I do have a tablet. I should try that sometime because I'd have a bigger screen. Um, but I want to make sure I can read the comments here. Okay, what are we doing? Oh no, I'm messing with the settings here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Sorry. All right. All right, keep commenting. Anyway, I'm gonna roll with this. So Robert's here already, so that's wonderful. So my friend Robert is from New York. And who else we got on here? We got Groundhog on here. Why can't I? Where? It's, Shadow, no, okay. I can't see my Whoa, hello. Are we still here? I almost deleted the live stream there. I don't know why I can't see my comments. That happened last time too, but we'll just we'll just roll with this. All right, Robert, if you want to keep commenting and I'll see. I don't know why it's not. Anywho, let's roll on with this. So, okay, Robert, if you want to let me know what you're drinking, well, um, otherwise you can tell me later too. But um, yeah, what you're drinking and eating this morning? I'm drinking hazelnut medium roast black rifle coffee, and I have a couple snacks this morning. Uh, yeah, I'll show you those a little bit. Okay, so here's just a little bit of a lineup. Just actually, this is kind of, I like to have just some bullet points of what I want to do a live stream. And then I have another clipboard here with some other notes. And I have, I have a notepad and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I know I'm weird. I'm weird, y'all. Sorry. Okay, so welcome. Update. I am trucking on the road. I am loaded with cheese from Utah going to Wisconsin. I do that often. Okay, what do we got here? Well, I'm drinking iced tea now. I already had breakfast and 3 cups of coffee. Okay, all right. Yep. Yeah, I'm on my third or fourth cup of coffee. And there's going to be more. What kind of tea are you drinking, Robert? Okay, so I want to share a scripture. I like to start my live streams with a scripture and end with a quote. So here I'm going to do today. Put you on the spot. Well, no, I don't want to say that yet. But anyway, okay, I'm going to share a scripture, and at the end, I'm going to have a final quote, and I'm going to have a final thought, and somebody else might have a final thought or quote if they want to put it in later too. So All right. One of my favorite. Sometimes I use the same ones for different live streams. Robert, can you give me a thumbs up and see what happens here? Again, I'm on StreamYard, but it's on my YouTube channel. But people don't see it right away when I do it that way. It's almost better to use YouTube to do the live stream, and I might do that next time. Uh, so yeah, there's good and bad in both. Um, but it's showing nobody's on here, but I see two people. So I don't know. Anyway, okay, the scripture I want to share today, I've done it before, but it's one of my favorite. Today we're going to be talking about the Christmas season, the holiday season, wood project ideas, or making things for craft shows. Craft shows are coming up. It's that season for that. It's time to start getting busy on that if you do craft shows. I don't. So I want to talk more about gifts. There's things that we can make for family and friends and just different ideas. And I just have fun with it. So along with those lines, the scripture kind of goes along with those. Proverbs 8:30. Then I was a craftsman at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence. I actually have that in a frame in my wood shop. It's just kind of neat. And I like to picture that scripture, and I don't know for sure that the proverb. So David probably wrote it, I think, or yeah. Um, I'm picturing that talking about Jesus at God's side when he created the world. That's kind of what I picture there. I don't know if that's the full real meaning, but that's kind of what I think. Okay, just some things. I'm just putting some things out there for us to talk about today. Me and my special guest, I'll bring in probably 20 minutes or half hour whenever I'm done rambling. Um, and if anybody wants, please comment. That's what I like about live streams is we can talk back and forth. You know, talk and ask questions and comment and advice. I like doing that. That's what's so fun about it. So please comment. Please give us your ideas. Let's talk back and forth. Tell us who you are, where you are, and all that fun stuff. And I just got some bullet points here of things for us all to talk about. Me and my special guest, and you can all talk. But this is not set in stone. It's we can just go off trails, go down rabbit holes, and I'm sure we will, especially with me and my special guest, because we have a lot of fun together. And so here's just some things that we could possibly talk about: woodworking, scroll sign, other. I put other meaning we can bring lasers into it too, but if we could pretty much keep it wood stuff. But we can if we want to go into other things too and other types of crafts and stuff. But then we can talk about craft shows, even though me and my special guest really we don't do craft shows, but I know a lot of you do. So we can talk about those and our experience with them, and even maybe talk a little bit about selling stuff, which I don't do anymore. It's just not worth it. But we can talk about that a little bit. And then the holidays coming up. You know, we got fall and harvest coming up, and that other weird holiday at the end of October. And then Thanksgiving and Christmas. I love the Christmas season, and fall and winter and all the festivity and all that. We can talk about all that and how that relates to things we make out of wood, different things that are themes from of the seasons. But then other things that are just nice gifts. I need an idea of something I can make for our kids and grandkids this year. Something really special, but not really, really hard to make and not really, really big because we'd have to mail a few of them. So kind of, yeah, just I need some ideas. And yeah, and I'm going to make a Christmas ornament again this year. And I got an idea now. Anybody else on here? If you're on here, please say something. Yeah, the sun's shining there. Shining on me. Shine on me. Oh, yeah. I was going to sing some good morning songs. Good morning. Good morning. It's grand to be on hand. Good morning. Good morning to you. I know that's not the words, but I always sang it like that. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you. It's a beautiful morning. Ah. Da, 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 da. I don't know the rest of the song. What's another good morning? Uh, uh, I'm just going to leave it right there. Robert, anyone else out there have a good morning song or one you want me to sing or try to sing? I know I don't. I have a horrible voice, but I love to sing. Anywho, okay, so that's the holiday theme stuff. We're going to talk about the holidays and stuff. woodworking shows, woodworking stores, sources to get wood, places we can get wood, places we can get patterns and plans. Also talk about woodworking and scroll sign forums. I know that's kind of old school, but I want to talk about those a little bit. Facebook groups for woodworking and scroll sign, YouTubers, YouTube channels that we like, besides Marty's ramblings, um, and just kind of go. And I have a list here of, I think, about 100 gift ideas, and I'm just going to go through the list. I might do it before I bring the guest in, or I might do it after. And then we'll just talk about all the different options and what other things are good ideas for craft shows and selling, but again, more importantly, for gifts this year. That's kind of a, yeah, and we can go off onto all different trails if we want to. Yeah, I had some, we could talk about, my friend said, we could talk about funny things you see on the road. We got weird sayings, we could talk, me and my guests, we'll have some top 10 tips of different areas of woodworking and scroll sign and stuff. We can talk about coffee. We can talk about food. We can talk about poop and other gross things. We can go all different directions with this. We can just have a good time. So, and I have a few wood things I have in my truck. Again, I'm on the road, so I don't have much woodworking with me. I have a few little things, some of my favorite things I like to make. I'll show you. And yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. So yeah, we can go all different directions. So what time we got? With 7:16 here in Mountain Time. All right, Robert. So who we got? We got Robert on. I don't know why I can't see my I can't see my comment uh list here. I'm not seeing a full screen, and probably because I'm on the free version, but it worked before. Let me look here once. What's this? Okay. Nobody's in the guest room yet. Layout. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, that's different. Okay. Anyway, I'm probably losing people here. I only got a couple people here. Anyway, again, yeah, so we're gonna have some fun here. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go through the list really quick just to get some ideas out there, and then we'll go through it again when I have the special list, the special guest on here. Oh, another thing I might do. I got something pretty cool right across the street here, and I know you guys already seen it because I did a quick little video a couple months ago. Well, wait, no, I'm not gonna say it yet. I'm not gonna say it yet because that'll give away where I am. I have a question for you. Where am I? See if you can guess where Marty is. And if you already know, don't guess. So that's another thing, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna go through this really quick and then I'm gonna bring in the guest. Okay. These are, and again, I don't know everything. I'm always learning. I've been doing woodworking for many years. I'm always learning. These are just some things, many of these things I've made, and many of these things I want to make. These are just some woodworking project ideas. Most of them are pretty small. You can do on the scroll saw or, with minimal tools. There's some bigger things too. These are just some ideas to give us some ideas and get the gears turning, get the smoke, coming out our ears and things burning up there, marbles rolling around, if we have any marbles left. And just to talk about different things. And I know there's lots, every year there's new ideas for craft shows, for gifts for Christmas and everything. These are just some ones that I like to do. Okay, and they're not in any particular order. I guess the first few are some of my favorites, but I'm just going to go through it really quick, and then I want to bring our guest in by about 7:30 here. So, all right, names and words. So I love making names, and I'm not going to talk about each one of these. We'll do that later, but I'm just going to roll through them. But I love making names. That when I first started woodworking and scroll sign, I would cut out people's names, kids' names, families' names, and what a wonderful gift. I would make it on oak and cherry if it was like a family's last name. If it was kids' names and people's names, I would make them out of poplar, and then kids can paint them. It's so cool. And you can do other words too, but names and words. And then, okay, my friend is backstage, so we'll bring him in just a little bit here. Okay, so then there's also word art. I really like making word art. My smiles and Jesus words and schmillies and joys and peace and different word art. You can spell anything. You can either use templates or you can use your computer and just type out stuff and then print it, and you got word art. So names and words, word art, Christmas ornaments. I love making Christmas ornaments, and I make mine out of 1/4 inch hardwoods. I just like using solid wood. I like to make Christmas ornaments. I'm just going to roll through these now. Toys, games, puzzles, brain teasers, wall decorations, table decorations, useful items. And here's the thing, each one of these have hundreds of ideas in them. I have about 100 ideas here, but each one of these are really groups of ideas. There's hundreds of different options for each one of these. Useful items, cell phone stands, cell phone speakers, napkin holders, letter holders, picture frames, mini clocks, blanket ladders, planters, plant stands, candle holders, clipboards, writing boards, intarsias, 3D compound word art, jig sticks, jewelry racks, key fobs, whittlings and carving, bottle holders, bottle openers, trivets, birdhouses, bird feeders, squirrel feeders, coat racks, hat racks, wind chimes, shelves, keepsake boxes, trinket boxes, puzzle boxes, bowls, baskets, dishes, trays, spoons, forks, butter knives. I'm spitting. Sorry, I'm trying to go through fast. Where are we? Spatulas, chopsticks, toaster tongs, or regular tongs, mugs, carved signs, coasters, key racks. Did I already say key racks? Cutting boards, charcuterie boards, serving boards, cheese boards, desk organizers, kitchen organizers, hiking sticks, back scratchers, bookends, bathtub caddies, dog beds, dog kennels, dog dishes, calendars, stools, benches, night lights, dice trays, dice towers, lawn dice, instruments, hope chests, business card holders, document frames, spice racks, beer totes, bins, crates, wine holders, doorstops, couch trays, pen and pencil holders, tool totes, bench stools, remote holders, mallets, cheese and checkerboards, abstract wall art, puzzle boards, game tables, coffee tables, cornhole boards, flags, shoe racks, shadow boxes, dump trays, bookmarks, lazy Susans, uh, towel racks, toilet paper towers, paper towel holders, K cup holders, toilet toppers, soap dishes, push sticks, Scrabble letters. Oh, giving myself a headache already here. Yeah, that's just a few ideas. And within each one of them, there's tons of other ideas and all different options, sizes and kinds of woods. And oh my God, that's just to get our gears rolling here, get the things. Oh, oh my goodness. I need some coffee. I got some snacks here too. Okay, a couple more minutes and we're going to bring our guest in because that'll be more interesting for all of you. Is anybody else on here? I don't see anybody else. All right, what I got for snacks, I have pistachios because pistachios and coffee are the best. But these are shelled. I like the ones that are in the shell better, but I kind of save that for two times. When I'm with my wife at home by campfire, we eat pistachios and coffee together. And if I'm in my wood shop doing a shop chat, I'll do pistachios in the shell. But if I want to have pistachios on the road, because I don't want shells all over my truck anyway, I'll get the ones that are shelled. And I don't like flavored ones. I just like the roasted and salted. Oh, mm, that's good. So it was about 48 degrees when I woke up this morning. Pretty nice. Um, Now it's about 55. I might shut the truck off. Let me know how the sound in video is. I might shut the truck off so it's quieter. Um, but yeah, I got those. Then I got Whoppers, y'all. These are so good with coffee too. And I like that they come in a carton still. Remember when milk came in a carton? It wasn't that long ago when you could still get half gallons of milk in a carton. But when I was younger, you get gallons in a carton, big, huge, fat. I still remember them. And I know before that, if you're older, milk came in jars and was delivered to your doorstep. Oh, that sounds like a weird concept. Um, I got these in the truck stop here. This is really a small, old school truck stop. I really like it. I like little ones like this. Necco. Remember Necco? Necco, the original candy wafer since 1847. Hopefully, it's not that old. I don't even remember how they taste. I think they taste pretty good, and they're different colors. I like old school candy, so I got those little things for a little snack here. But, all right, it's 7:25. We're gonna bring our guest in here. Um, we have any more comments here? I don't know if anybody else is on here, but again, I know a lot of people watch the replay on my YouTube channel. All right, I'm gonna see if I can bring him in here. Oh, there he is. Hey, look at that nice mug. That is a nice mug. I got to get one of those.
You really should.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Pretty good. I'm going to shut the truck off here so it's a little quieter. So this is my friend Robert from New York. We've been friends for 3 or 4 years already, and we met through my YouTube channel. I've made some wonderful friends through my YouTube channel, which is amazing. It's all God. I give all the glory to God. And so yeah, he's a woodworker and a historian, all kinds of stuff, but I'm gonna let him talk more. But I forgot to say, yeah, how do you like I got my camo doodad or doodad, my my camo do rag on, and I got my Scroll Sauce shirt that Robert gave me. That's what I'm
Hey,
wearing today.
there you go. Did you notice my nice new haircut I got yesterday?
No, I didn't notice.
Oh, come on.
I
I
the,
said to my wife, I come home from my wife, I said, honey, how you like my haircut? She said, yeah, it's all right, but you can still see your face.
so you need to grow it out and let it hang.
Isn't she something? And that summer,
So I'm doing this on my phone, and your picture is about that big. So,
oh, okay.
but I'll look
Should
later.
I,
I'm sure it looks good. Ah,
should I get closer?
that looks good. Yeah, it's shining a little bit from your light there, but
All right. Sorry about that.
okay. Look it. I know I don't usually take my do rag off till the end of the show, but I'm going to show you. That's
Uh-huh.
my that's my hair right now.
Very nice. Let me see if I can fix that light a little bit.
And here's the thing. I'm going to cut my hair tonight. My hair is about eighth of an inch, but I like it a 16th. So I'm actually going to cut
Right.
mine.
There, is that lighting better?
Oh, that looks great. You
There
could
we
sit a
go.
little, yeah, you could sit as close to the camera as possible.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's not very long, but I'm gonna cut it tonight because I like
Right.
it short.
Okay. All
So
right.
you pay to get yours cut?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not that. I'd cut my head off if I tried to do it myself.
Well, I just shave mine, so I've been shaving mine for probably 30 years. Um, and I cut it like every other week, so it wouldn't pay. Well, yeah, it cost me a fortune to pay to get it cut.
$10. $10.
So here's the thing. I want to talk back and forth. I want to answer questions from each other and on the chat here. I don't see anybody else on here yet, so I don't know what's going on. Um, but I want to let you talk more than anything. Um, and if we can go on all different trails, we can talk about woodworking, gift ideas. We can go all over and talk about anything you want.
Right. I got a
So
I
if
got a
you want,
package ready to come out to you in Maryland. It'll be out hopefully. I wanted to get it out a little earlier, but I'm doing a few more things. Here's
okay.
a here's a little guy. Say hello to your new friend.
Oh, is it a duck? Very nice. Very, my goodness, he's cool looking.
Oh yeah, he's orange.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, if you want to introduce yourself and just because a lot of people don't know who you are. A lot of people don't know who I am. But just introduce yourself, tell a little bit about yourself, and then we can just start rambling on.
Well, I already know me. Why would I do that?
Well, sometimes you're getting up there in age, so you might be getting forgetful.
Okay.
So,
All right. All right. We're gonna go down that path. Okay. My name is Robert Cohen, and I live in a little town called Fulton, New York. It's northwest of Syracuse. I'm only about an hour's drive from Canada, so I'm way up north. When I say New York, people think, oh, New York City. No, no, I'm 5 hour drive from New York City. But anyway, I've been woodworking for well over 40 years. A lot of fun. I'm just a weekend warrior. I'm not a professional. I've done a lot of different things in woodworking, all of it on the average level. Like I say, I'm not a professional at all. I started out doing scroll sawing, and I still maintain scroll sawing is probably my favorite of all things. But other than that, I just like to dabble in a lot of different things. So that's my quick bio. As a career, I actually do still work part time, very part time. I am the town of Volney, Volney. It's just a little suburb of Fulton, and that's the actual township that I live in. I am the town of Volney historian, and I've been in that position. Well, I'm completing my fourth year. I will start my fifth year in January. So, by gosh, I can't believe it's been that many years already. It seems like just yesterday I started. But I've always loved history my entire life, ever since elementary school, really. And in fact, I love all aspects of history, particularly the Civil War. That's probably my forte in terms of history. But anyway, brother Dave and I are going to go on. In fact, we're going to do a Civil War trip next week, and I'll report back on that on the channel, Marty, when we get back from that. But anyway, back to woodworking is where we started. I
What can I stop you real quick?
Sure.
So, if you want to talk about your YouTube channel real quick, and
Oh,
I know that making videos isn't really your thing too much, but that would be wonderful video at where you're going, your trip. Even just little video snippets or something, but or pictures. But
yeah. Actually, I do have I've got the little camera kit all loaded up, ready to go. I do plan on doing some of them. My biggest thing is I forget. I get so, engrossed in what I'm doing and what I'm enjoying that, oh, I should have filmed that. But it's not, like I say, it's not that I know how to do the video and stuff like that. It's just like you say, it's not my thing. I'm just not a videographer type thing. Ironically, you talk about that. I actually did wedding photography for more than 40 years. So
yeah.
done a lot of photography. That's it is my thing, but video is not really so much it. But yeah, I do plan on doing that. So when we come back,
So
we'll do that.
you should. So I've kind of slowed down making videos because I just want to enjoy the things I do.
Hmm.
Um, but I miss making videos, so I'm starting to do more again. But that's the thing too. Just enjoy life, and sometimes it's better just take pictures and then make a slideshow of pictures because that way you're not putting a lot into it while you're at the thing you're doing.
Yeah.
But you can just put the pictures together later when you have downtime. That way you're not spending a
That
lot of
I
time
can
on a
do.
video.
Yeah, that I can do because I used to do that for weddings. That's what I did.
Yeah,
It got, especially in the digital age, towards the end of my career, it became more prevalent that people wanted digital. So I would make a video uh, of the wedding, take all the still shots. And when I did a wedding, well, it's usually anywhere from 700 to 1,200 shots, and I'd weed it down to 400 or 500, and I would make a music video, if you will. I'd
yeah.
actually put
I
music to
did
it.
that too. I
Yeah.
before you could do like YouTube or video clips, I made DVDs of
Hmm.
pictures,
Yep.
put the music, and yeah, I did that too. I'm actually going to start doing that more. Like if I don't feel like doing a video while I'm doing it, I'm going to take pictures, which I like to do anyway, and have the pictures and put them on Facebook to share.
Hmm.
But then I'll make a video later, and you can do a voiceover too. That's another way you can do it, either and talk about each picture, which
Right.
is which I think is a fun challenge because they go by every 5-10 seconds. You got to talk fast.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
okay.
where.
That's no problem at all. But as far as woodworking, like I say, I have done some.
Uh oh. Uh oh. We lost Robert. Robert, come back. Come back. Come back. Robert, come back. Everybody doesn't want to hear me ramble all day.
Hi, sorry about that, Marty.
Where'd you go?
I don't know what happened. Did I? You know what? I may have not paid the light bill. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Anyway, I'm here.
I was scared. I thought I had to talk for another hour.
Well, like you couldn't do that, right? I know. That's my problem. I talk too much.
It's all good though.
But anyway, no, we're you wanted to talk about like woodworking and whatnot, and I've got so much to do. I mean, I the funny thing of it is, Marty, you wanted to do samples and things like that. Believe it or not, I don't have a lot of samples because I typically give things away quick as I make them.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of times I make things specifically for people. I'm kind of like you. I know I have the same feeling in terms of craft shows. I think I've done two craft shows my entire life, and I did not like them at all. Number one, I would rather talk to people coming by rather than show them things and try to sell. I'm not a seller. I never have been a salesman in terms of that. Well, I have professionally been a salesman, but that was different. But, it's just so hard because people, I mean, I've found, and this is not a negative, it's just a fact from where I come from in upstate New York. We don't have the big markets like some places have. Everybody up in my area, they're kind of like what I call garage sale mentality. And they come and you put something like $10 on a piece and they'll say, well, I'll give you five for it. It's like there's more than $5 worth of material in it. And
No.
so that kind of turned me off when I did my first woodworking sale. And believe it or not, I did it at the firehouse that I was a member in. And I actually, believe it or not, of all the vendors up there, I did more business than everybody. And I think I did like $280 worth of sales. But when you take out sitting there for 7 or 8 hours and all the time and energy that went into it and everything that I brought, it really was nothing. I
Right. Your
came,
your profit probably was nothing.
no, really not that much at all. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'd rather just do it by word of mouth. If somebody wants something, I'll tell them, look, this is what I'll make it for you for. And again, I don't make anything at all. If it costs me, let's say, let's say I'm making those flags, for example, those wooden flags. Now in Syracuse, I can tell you right now, I go to the Irish Festival every September in Syracuse. They're selling those flags for 160 up to $300.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I charge,
That's
I
a good
charge,
seller actually.
yeah, but I
And there's
charge
not a
like,
lot of wood into it.
no, I got like $60 to $80 is what I charge.
Oh
It's
wow.
not a lot, but still, you can't get any more than that where I'm at. That's just what they'll pay. And so I find what I did with all my extra flags, I make them like 6 or 8 at a time. And what I'll do is I'll actually save them and I give them to my church festival, we call it bazaar, every summer. And I'll give them two or three of them to raffle for the
Oh
raffle.
yeah.
And that way I feel great because they make a lot of them, they'll make two, three
Well,
hundred bucks on a flag, which is
the
more
nice
to
thing,
me.
yeah, the nice thing about that is you're giving, and churches and schools, yeah, they can raise money, for the church or the school. They'll get a lot more
Yep.
because people really aren't buying the item. They're
Right.
donating to the church or the school, but they're getting something for it, so actually they can sell them for more than we could just as selling them. So I think that's a good thing. i
Absolutely.
I've never had. I used to do craft shows years ago. I started like 30 some years ago with my grandpa and uncle. And it was fun to do, but never made much money. And it's just not worth it. So there's a couple of reasons why it's not worth it. In Minnesota, we have craft sales all over. We also have a lot of people sell them on Facebook Marketplace. I've done it word of mouth. I've done eBay. It's just not worth it. First of all, it's people try to bargain with you and it gets you down. I don't like that. And then there's so much, everybody's making the same things.
Yep.
And then I personally, actually, I've been woodworking for 30 years, but I've done a lot of different things, a lot of different scroll sign. I've never got really good enough to make things good enough to sell. I don't have good enough tools. They're not that great to sell. Um, and yeah, you put your time into it and your electricity of the shop and the heat and all that stuff, and then the wood and then the materials, and
And
you don't make a profit. And so I see people who do make a profit, they make really nice stuff. But even that, how do they do that and work? Well, maybe they're retired. Well, then that's okay, you know. But I mean, I just don't know how people do it. It just is never worth it for me. Um, you know, uh, yeah, it's like, oh, let's say a cutting board. You make a cutting board and you got to get 50 to $100, but you can only sell it for 5, $10 in your area, but it's worth way more than that.
Yep.
And so it's not even worth it to do it. Um, so I've done just word of mouth selling and certain things like when I was carving signs and making flags, those two things, and actually names, they're pretty good profit. It's not bad. You're not getting rich, but it's okay. Like a flag, for instance, I have like $10 into a flag, and I've sold them from 75 to $200. So that's a pretty good profit. My
Yep.
carved signs, I might have $10 worth of wood into it. I've sold them 50, $75. My wood names, there's might be 10 cents worth of wood into it, and I sell them for like 5, $10 a piece. So, but then all the other things, it's just not worth it. And every once in a while, I'll still sell something, but not now. It's getting frustrating because, like, the last thing I made, and I told the lady, I can't really make it exactly like you want. I don't have the expertise or the tools to do that great, but I did my best, and I think it turned out great. But then but after it was done, I had it complete with like coats of sealer on it. And then she wanted me to do something else on it. I'm like, I can't change it. It's complete. That's what I could do. And then so people get picky, and it was a gift. She
Yep.
wasn't even buying it, and so it's just I'm to the point now where I just like to make one of a kind things, give them to people,
Yep.
and what I really like doing is making stuff for my church and schools, like stuff like that. That's what's fun because selling. I know some people do it, and our friend Chris, he's doing craft shows. Andy does that too, and make wonderful things. The other thing that you got to be careful of is, some people say, okay, yeah, I'm not making much. I just do it for fun and I want to make a little bit of money. So they'll sell something for 5 cents or $1 or $5. Well, now you're lowballing stuff that people who really want to make money can't because you're
Right.
practically giving them away. That I don't think that's a good thing either. You got to charge what things are worth. And there's a couple of YouTubers and people I know that they're correct, and you got to just have a price. You got to make enough, or don't do it. And if you don't, then you're just giving them away, and you're making it harder for everybody else because you're lowballing everything.
Right, right. Well, that's what I said about, giving the flags to the church and things. I feel so much better because I know they're making really good money that
Yep,
I can't sell them at, but I'm doing a good thing. And it makes me personally feel better. I feel better about my work and myself
yep,
knowing that it's making good money. I'd rather give it to the church than to
yep.
try to sell it for my own pocket. It's just
Yeah,
not.
I think that's
How,
the
yep,
best thing to do. You make it, give it. They're making money as a donation to the church or school or other places like that. And yeah, I think that's a wonderful way to do it.
yep, yep. However, I will make something special order for people if they want it. And I will get them to pay for it up front or at least half down. If I don't know them, I'm going to get money down to pay for the materials and the time. And that way, if they decide, well, I don't really like it, well, okay, don't take it then, you know. And well, what about my deposit? Yeah, like I told you, non-refundable. I put a lot of time, money, effort, and everything into this for you, and I show them pictures. I will actually, when I do things, especially if it's a special order thing, I will actually do a mock-up artwork of it, of this is what it'll look like. Are you okay with this? You do the spell checking to make sure it's correct. And I do that. And that's why I do that. So, but anyway, other than that, I would just soon give it away. I'm not, I feel so much better about it. And I'm at a stage in my life now where I really don't need the income. You know what I mean? I don't do it for that. I do it because it makes me happy. So,
Yeah. Well, and by the way, the thing that you made, I'm pretty sure that's what you're mailing. I'm serious, and I know you have such a big heart and you like to give, but if we can give you anything or something, we will. Because,
there you are.
but the thing is, yeah, I'm telling you, brother,
Yep.
that we should give you $10 a piece for those at
Oh
least.
yeah, 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 yeah. I was hoping 15 actually. I was,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's custom made. You can't get that anywhere, and
That's
it's
right.
absolutely amazing. And
Well, like I say, the invoice will be in the package, so don't worry about that. Okay. It'll be in there. Hey, look, let me show you something. I did find a couple of projects while we're on the woodworking thing. One, now this is not Christmas, but this is Easter. This is one of my favorite ones. I gave this to my pastor, and he loved it. Oh, I just noticed I broke the top off one of the heads. But anyway, it gives you an idea. This is my version, and this is made of 4 different types of wood. This is my version of the empty tomb.
oh, okay, that's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah,
Again,
and
it's a
that's
tiny little picture, but I'll watch it later on the big. I
yeah.
love that.
You can see it's all stacked. See the different.
Yep,
You can see the different types of wood there.
I love it.
Yeah,
You know, and that's the thing. That's why I like the Empty Tomb project. There's so many different ways you can do it, and you can personalize it. I love to see all the variety.
yeah.
That is absolutely gorgeous. I
Now here's a
love
cool
that.
little one. By the way, all scroll sawed. This is one of my favorite ones that I do. It's a little tiny nativity scene, and it's literally well, just to give you an idea, it fits in my hand like this,
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Oh, that is so cool. I love it.
and that's made out of 2 different woods. That's walnut and maple.
Okay. Oh,
See, see how
that is
thick it is.
gorgeous. Very nice.
And I believe it or not, Marty, I've actually made one smaller than that. Well, like I say, you can see, there's my hand. You can see how small it is.
Oh my goodness.
Very
Oh
small.
wow.
I make one really that goes on a tree, which is about half the size of that. They're very difficult to make, though. They're hard to make.
Very nice.
So,
I love it. Those
of
are
course,
beautiful.
you've seen these before out of the book.
Oh yeah. Yep.
The,
The
the,
people and
the,
pets. Yep.
that's right, people and pets. I've got a bunch of them. Those,
So
believe it or not, I had a lady that actually special ordered a bunch of them. She loved them.
okay, so now that again, that's another thing. It's done all different ways. Is that two different pieces of wood?
2 different pieces of wood. This right here is ambrosia maple.
Oh, I love
That's
ambrosia maple.
walnut.
Okay.
Ambrosia maple is my favorite. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but oh here, let me turn around. See there's a
Yeah,
good
he's got some cool color on his butt there. Oh, that is so pretty. The sign that you made for Marilyn and I with the hands, is that ambrosia maple?
ambrosia maple. It was, in fact, I think I told you when I sent it. It was the last piece that I had out of a piece
Oh,
that I.
that's right. Yep.
It was the very last one I had, and that by the way, this walnut here. This is I literally had all just a bunch of little cutoffs. My grandfather, when he was still alive. Now, mind you, it was the last piece I had left from my grandfather. He cut down this huge walnut tree. It was I couldn't get my arms around it. And you know me, I'm a big fella. I couldn't get my arms halfway around it. That thing
Oh
was
my goodness.
probably 5 feet in diameter, and that's the last bit of it. My grandfather died in 1997, so I've been using that since that many years. You know, he gave me several slabs of it, and that's the very last of it. So,
That is so cool.
yep.
That is so cool.
Here's our Christmas decoration that we sent out for every. Of course, I know it's backwards.
Yep.
There's our.
So uh
That's done by the laser.
that is absolutely amazing because if you do you want to okay, so on my YouTube channel on StreamYard here, people don't know about our little fun chat. It's a little group of people who met through my channel and we're like brothers and sisters, and it's wonderful. You want to explain the ornament because you can't buy that at Walmart or anywhere. That is
No.
custom made. You put
Well,
thought into it. It's wonderful. If you want to explain how you did it, just to show people the variety and customization you can do.
oh sure. Well, like I say, it's made out of 1/8 inch Baltic birch. All the pieces are 1/8. And what I do is I made it a 3D because it's hard to see, but those are those. All right. First of all, it says 2025. When you are friends, the miles don't matter. And so, therefore, if you can see on there, it's got all the states that we live in, plus our Andy over here, the red. He's in the UK, in England. So we've got Andy in New England, or excuse me, in England. We've got Frankie in Alabama. That's Joseph in Texas. This is Chris, California. Marty, you, Minnesota. Lynn, he's in Ohio, and then myself, New York State. And I just colored them different colors. And like the message though is the best. When you are friends, the miles don't matter.
It
And we
is so
can,
cool. There's so much in that ornament that is just so unique. And I mean, I love that because if you just take some time and think and you can make gifts. And here's the thing when I talk about, and we're talking about crafts, yeah, more about gifts and making special things. Um, whether it's woodworking or scroll sign, laser work, 3D, sewing, plaster and paintings, writing. There's so many
right.
different ways you can use your gifts, but doing customized, personalized gifts. I just love that. It's just there's so much personalization in that
Well,
it's wonderful.
when I got in, actually, I a lot of people don't know this because some people know me as a laserologist, as we call ourselves nowadays. But I do use a laser a lot. In fact, I have two lasers now. I had three. I gave, as you know, I gave one to our dear friend Frankie last May. I took it down to him, set it up for him, and he loves it. It's just another. Now, I bought my laser, my first laser, the one that I gave Frankie. I bought that with the specific reason. All I was going to do is I wanted to laser engrave my logo, my name on the back of my wood projects, my scrolled wood projects. That's what I bought
Yeah,
the laser for. And then as I used it, I found out that there were so many other uses that you could use it for. And that's one of them, like that ornament that I made. I like myself personally, believe it or not, I love woodworking. But when I'm working with the software for that, I love the um well, what do you call it, the designing of it. I
oh
just sit
yeah,
there and design. I love designing things for people. I could be very perfectly content with designing projects for other people to cut out.
yeah,
And like I said, remember Tyler asked me to do a project for one of his friends. So I basically made a plaque for his friend's wedding anniversary coming up. And
yeah,
so I banged that out for him.
yeah,
And of course, like I say, well, your logo that you use, for example, Marty,
yeah,
that was done using laser, the
yeah.
laser software. Okay. So there's tons of stuff you can use it for. I use it for making all kinds of different scroll saw things. Like for example, I'm going to be going down. I don't know if you wanted to get into that or not, but I'm
Any
going
yeah. Can I say
next.
something real quick though?
Sure.
Before you hold that thought, I was just going to say my quick thoughts on scroll sign, lasers, and 3D printers.
Hmm.
Um, I'm a woodworker. I'm a scroll star. I don't have a laser. I don't have a 3D printer. Even if I could afford it, I wouldn't get one. I don't want to get into something else, but I love to see what other people do. And yeah, in the past, I've been with lasers. Oh, they just take away from scrolls. They don't. It's all they're all unique and different, and they all have their place. I really like scroll sign because we make things by hand out of wood. I see the value in lasers, huge value. You have made us wonderful gifts. Yeah, being able to light burn, I think you call it, etching, and put things on the back of wood projects, things you would never be able to do with a scroll saw. I love
Cut
that.
out very
I
small
love that.
fine cuts,
What?
very fine detailed cuts. Also,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
another thing too.
You
Yeah.
can't do that on a scroll sign. I wouldn't even want to try. And
Yeah.
then 3D printers, I'm not crazy about them. That's more plastic, but they're cool too because, and I know there's different things you can do in them. Um, I see the biggest value in the 3D printers is making holders for things and making custom things. You made me the Ryobi battery holders. I'm so thankful, and I can't wait to use those.
Yep.
So there's value in each of them. I'm not crazy when you use one of them to do things that the other does. Like I like to keep things in their category or whatever, but they all have value, and there's so many things we can do with all of them as long as you're enjoying it, creating things, and like you just said, I mean, gosh, you could be a pattern and designer. The things
Hmm.
I'm not gifted in that. I've been doing stuff on the computer for many years, but less in recent years, and that's not really my gifting, but it is yours, and then you can put it all together and work in all those different areas.
Yep. Well, there again, Marty, you just mentioned something. When I got my 3D printer, okay, and I only have one. That's a small, very basic. I bought that to make implements for my other tools.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
said, I bought it. Okay, now yes, I did make this special for you. This is because you want to. You got your little Jeep duck, and
Yeah,
so.
I got a Jeep
But,
now. It's 30 years
but
old, but it's a Jeep. I love it.
right,
Thank you.
but in fact, I've got another one going for you over there right now. It's running in the background. But I bought that specifically for making, like you said, the holders for the batteries. My shop tools down in my shop. I make all kinds of different little holders for my tools over on the laser, and I made a tool rack, like for my little picks, for my the little picks I use for my scroll sawing over there. I made a rack for that. I use it more. I don't use probably the 3D printer is the thing I use the least of more. I just use that for making other things to make my job for other tools easier. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
So, yep. So, like I say, I probably, and I would say I spend 3 times as long on my scroll saw as I do my laser. And I probably spend at least, 90% more than I do with the 3D printer. I use a 3D printer 2, 3 times a year, or if I need something specifically.
Yeah.
I don't like make usually as a rule gifts and things like that. Because like I say, I think first of all, those things are terribly long. You can put days. I've seen some people, it takes 11 days, whole days to make one project. And that's ridiculous to tie a machine.
And it's probably something you can go to the dollar store and get for a quarter. So,
Well, I don't know if it's that much, but anyway,
but
I use it
here's
for
the
like,
thing too. I like Chris was saying last night talking about his 3D printer. I see a huge value in that too. Even whatever you're making, whether it's gifts or things to use or whatever, he can do that like year round, and you can't
yep,
do woodworking year round.
yep.
And he can just set it up and have it go and make. So it's so cool. And there's
Well,
different.
the little throat plate in your scroll saw.
Oh yeah,
I lost mine on my Hegner. I lost it. Couldn't find it. It's gone. I 3D printed one, and so I make 4 or 5 of them now in case I lose them. But
yeah.
I 3D printed one, threw it in my scroll saw, and now, you got a $600-700 scroll saw, even a used one, and it's not much use without the throat plate because it's just not. You can use it, but it's not very conducive. But
Yeah.
anyway, it took me a half an hour to make this little throat plate, throw it in there, and voila, you're ready to go. So there's a perfect example. I used the 3D printer to make a piece that I lost or broke on my scroll saw. Worked perfect.
Yeah. They're
I
all
make
three valuable in different ways.
I'll make knobs for it, like replacement knobs, and like nice big hand grip knobs instead of the little tiny ones on the scroll saw. You can
That
make
would be
them.
nice.
They slide right over top of your existing, because they're kind of they're kind of long and banana shaped. Well, I made a perfectly round one with nice, big, thick, and it's very comfortable. And I just slide it on there, boom. Now, see there
So
again.
so I don't. That's all Greek to me. I don't get all the behind the scenes of a 3D printer. Um,
Hmm.
but it's different, right? It's not like scroll sign and even laser maybe will be patterns, but 3D it's like a file, like a program, right?
Right. Well, a lot of them you don't even have to buy them. They're free of charge. You just go on. I know there's 3 or 4 different websites that I go on to, and they're free. That, like they say, that duck that you just saw, it's free. I went up there, found a file, and all I did was put ducks or Jeep ducks or whatever, and I found a half a dozen right off the top. Boom. You
Very
download the
cool.
file. You download the file, and there you go. You're printing it. 2 minutes later. And so,
So
I don't.
so
It's not that I'm cheap, but I just, I don't see buying
oh
something.
yeah, no,
I'll
that's what
donate to the. If I use it a lot, I'll donate. Oh, that's another thing too. For example, here's a perfect one. I've got this little scroll saw square. I sent one to Lynn. I don't know if I sent one to you or not, but it's a little plastic gizmo. It's a square. You lay it on your scroll saw both ways to see if your blade is square. So that way, when you're doing compound cutting, I made that on the 3D printer. It's plastic.
oh yeah.
It,
So I
it
don't
took
think
like,
I don't think I got one, but Tyler sent me one with like that,
oh,
something
there you
like
go.
that.
There you
I
go.
think it had some different angles on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yep.
And by the way, if you I don't know if you can do so. Yeah, the whole duck thing. If you have a Jeep, it's yeah, you duck people, and so it would be cool to have some little ducks to give to people. But I wouldn't mind having one maybe a little bigger or something, kind of like the big one you made for Maryland. Um, and Can you match the color of my Jeep?
Well, what color is that? I don't know what it is.
No, I'm kidding. It's like a bluish green, like a teal or something. But
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, there's value in all of them. The other thing about lasers, what I love is that, and you did it last year, I think you actually, I think you called it light burn. Your grandma's recipe on the back of a cutting board. That is
Oh, I did. Yeah,
absolutely
I did that for all the grandchildren.
that
My
is
mo-
absolutely amazing and so custom, so personalized. And the laser is the only machine you could do. I couldn't do it on a scroll saw, and you couldn't even do it with a wood burner because there's no way you could spell like that and do it. And it's like her handwriting, right?
I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's in her handwriting. Can you see that?
Well, it's about a eighth of an inch tall on my view, but I'm sure people can see it bigger. I'll watch it later on the big screen.
Well, that is that color blue. That is a duck jeep. It's getting
Oh,
ready.
okay, okay.
Yep.
Oh, so cool. And I was kidding. And here's the thing: I'm colorblind anyway. So now I don't think I don't see that anybody else is on here, and I don't even see comments. I don't know if you do,
Nope.
but I I, I, I don't know. There's something wrong. I think I'm going to go back to just using the StreamYard's great, but I think I'm going to go back to using just YouTube because it's actually running on my channel live.
Right. Right.
Um, but the only thing is when I do it on YouTube, my picture's backwards.
Yeah,
So
mine is.
I gotta figure out that. But anyway, that's a side. We can keep going here.
Now, when I go down to next month, I am going down to. I've told you this. I'm going
Yep,
down
let's
to what
hear all about it. Yep.
the Klingspor extravaganza they call it, and I am Marty. I don't. You know me. I'm a big jokester, and I like to fool around. But I'm not. When I say this, I'm totally. I mean, sincere. I was so blessed to be asked. They contacted me. I joined them. I think I'm the furthest one away. I joined the North Carolina Woodworkers Association, and here I am in upstate New York. Well, I got invited to come down. They invited me down as a guest, just to come and visit it. And I went there. I got to.
Welcome, Chris. Chris is here. Yep.
Hey. So, anyways, I got invited to. Now, this is 3 years ago. I went down as a guest and I just visited, and it was great. It's the largest woodworker convention in the state of North Carolina.
Welcome, my love. My wife's
Hi,
on here too.
Marilyn.
Sorry to interrupt. It's wonderful getting people on here. If anybody has any questions or comments, shoot them. Robert, you keep going, and if you want to give the dates and times too, in case people want to go to it.
Oh, sure. Well, like I say, this is going to be backwards, so it's not going to mean anything. But this year, the extravaganza, it's Friday and Saturday, October 17th and 18th, and it's at the Hickory Metro Convention Center. Like I say, it's huge. This convention center is massive. When you walk into this woodworkers convention, there is, well, I know it's again, there's just some of the vendors that are going to be there. They have, I mean, major DeWalt, Amana Tool, Craig, Bessie, Festool, Microjib, Makisa, Rycon, Wagner, you know, Milescraft, all these names you probably heard a lot of these before.
Delta,
Delta is going to be
are
there.
they?
Sawtech,
Yes, Delta.
the General Finishes. Oh my God, there's tons of them. But anyway, and then they also have. I don't know if they're going to come, but a couple years ago I met Ryan and Eric.
Oh, that would be so
I
fun.
had a beautiful. I had a picture taken with them. Wonderful guys. Those guys. I want to tell you something, Marty. Those two fellas, they are just as genuine as they come across on their channel. They really are. They took the time and they wanted to take photos with everybody and meet them and wonderful.
Yeah,
This year, Izzy Swan. I know you've heard of Izzy.
yeah,
He's going to be there. He's going to be launching his new business. Him and Maggie. He's married to a little tiny Maggie. And anyways,
yeah. Izzy's a big guy.
I met him a few years ago, a couple years ago. Of course, I'm going to be with the North Carolina Wood. I'll be doing scrolling, and I'll be. You can find me in our booth. We're going to be there. And then here's just something. For example, what I do is I offer like 5 or 6 different sessions, classes, if you will. And I personally, I want to be busy all the time. I said, just work. Well, you got to have a break. You got to take a break sometime. I don't know, just a sandwich in my mouth, and I'm good to go. And
Yeah.
anyways, but I just I take like a 15-minute lunch break. Oh, look at them. And
I'm gonna
anyways,
try them and see if they're still as good as they used to be. Keep
oh,
talking.
they're awesome. But anyway, here's an example. I'm going to one of the classes I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to do 3D compound printing in general, and I'm going to I like to use simple, very simple little ones. Here's a little tulip. If you can see it or not.
Oh, yep, I have that pattern. I don't know if I've
Yeah.
ever done it.
I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be my tulip
So,
pattern.
so do you do it? I think I have the pattern. Does it stand up? Is there like a base on it?
Yep. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
little. It's a little. It's like it's in a flower pot.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, those are so cool.
And
So,
then
do you
that's
do
just the
like one
general one.
by one or?
I make them one at a time while we're standing there. And what I do is I have somebody. Well, we have a rule. Our group, the North Carolina Woodworkers, you have to be at least 10 years old to operate the machinery under the supervision of myself and a parent. So anyway, I have them come, and what I do is I help them out. We cut it out on the spot, and I give it to them so they can take home. They can take it home. Be very careful because it's very general. A 3D cut, as you know, they tend to be very, very, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, you got to be gentle with them. They break easily. They're very, very, tender. But
Fragile.
anyway, and then another one I'm going to do is 3D Christmas ornaments. And if you can tell, very, very simple. That's a
Okay.
3D ornament. And then a same thing. I
I
have
did
them.
one. I did one a year or a couple of years ago, and I put a cross in it, and I
Right,
did a cross on one side and a star on the other side.
right.
Um, but I only made a few of them. I didn't, and they look like they end up look like you did it on a lathe, like you
Oh
turned.
yeah, yeah. Well, people, it's a great conversation piece. Like when I have my keychain, with our names, my wife and my name on it, and those things are so great. People look at them and said, "Wow, that's amazing. Where did you buy that?" I said, "I didn't make. I made it. Didn't buy it. Made it on a scroll saw." What? I said, "Yeah, you can make these on a scroll saw. In fact, to my knowledge, only a scroll saw can do that. Even
Yeah,
a 3D cutter is not going to be, or a CNC can't do that. You
no,
know."
not three
So that's why I
dimensional.
say I'm a very strong proponent for the scroll saw. As long as I breathe, the scroll saw will still be living because I love scroll sawing. It's my number one love. I continue to do it almost on a daily basis. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do some other things like I've got a whole. And by the way, I have all kinds of handout sheets. I have handout sheets galore.
Yeah,
These
you're
are
so
my
much like me. This is great.
My scroll saw must have accessories. I have the top 10, and then, of course, I have what I call bonus items. And then I have a top 10 list of things that I wish I knew before I started scroll sawing. Top 10 tips about scroll saw and how they operate and how they work and stuff.
I I
So,
want to hear that, but I understand if you don't want to share it on here.
oh, that's
Um,
fine. I have no
that would
problem.
be interesting.
That's no problem at all. Heck, are you kidding me? Well, first of all, and then here's another one. Great resources, links. I have it actually with the actual links, and they see there's 150 of them here.
Oh
Uh,
my
they,
goodness, that
they just take them and go home with it. And they can come to our booth, and they can have something. I always learned, or was told as a teacher, because I did education also.
yep,
Always make sure that you can send them home with something.
yep. They got to have a takeaway. Yep, me
Well,
too.
and then, well, here's my Robert's top 10 scroll saw tips. And again,
Uh,
a
you know
lot of,
this brings back memories when I taught my Strosaw class. Oh, I wish I could do that full time. I would, because I love all that too, the teaching and the woodworking and even making handouts, things to take, and
yeah.
oh, that's so cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I have like I say, when I go there, and of course, I have a big bin of projects that are already, well, I've already got them, the patterns are already on them and taped up and everything. They're ready to go. And if there's any internal cuts, I've got the holes cut. So when I get down there, I don't have to, deal with that. It's all ready to go. So people come down and they literally walk up to the scroll saw and watch, and they'll watch me do it. And I'll say, well, you can do this, Oh, I could never do that. Yeah, you can. Come on over here. So I bring them around, sit them on the stool, and I tell them, the foot pedal, and I show them how to use that first. What I usually do is I'll actually take, and I have another sheet, and it's got nothing but little patterns on it. It's got a straight cut, and then it's got a curved cut, and then it's got a squiggly back and forth weave cut, so they can get the idea and how the scroll saw works. And I usually use some very thin quarter-inch or eighth-inch material. Actually, quarter-inch is better than eighth because it doesn't bounce as much.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then I show them how easy it is to use a scroll saw. And so, and then, like I said, then from there, after they've used it for a little bit and tried it for 5, 6 minutes, whatever, then I'll pull out a piece of stock and we will do like one of those 3D things or just a flat piece, something that they can take home. A Christmas ornament, flat piece of Christmas ornament, usually very simplistic, but something that they did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
When
great.
I've taught it in schools, and I taught, when I teach our youth in our church, yeah, I do kind of the same thing. And then I'll do what I usually do is, and I just use 3/4 inch pine boards. And what I usually do is have them just, practice, but then make a shape like an apple,
Right,
and then maybe make the apple into a puzzle. That's
right.
kind of the first couple of
Yeah.
things. That is
And I'll
so
take a
cool.
lot of, I'll take a lot of samples with me too. Like, I'll take these things, and the little nativity scene. I'll take that down with me as samples. Just have it sitting
Well,
around. And these are
yeah,
all things that you can do with the scroll saw. You know.
that's what I did when I taught my class. I had a whole table of things I've made so they can see them.
Right.
And so you have things that just in the variety. I mean, yeah, puzzles, Christmas ornaments, 3D things, intarsia, toys, games, puzzle.
Yep.
Yeah,
And by the way, I go one step further. I love that nativity. Well, that's a little bit more of a medium medium level. But what I'll do is I'll have 10 or 20 sheets of the patterns. They can, I'll put 3 or 4 on a sheet and I'll cut them. And then I said, here's the absolute pattern that you can make that.
oh,
Take
that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
take a snapshot of it. This is what it looks like when it's done. Here's the pattern. Take it home with you and give it a try. Make
yeah,
copies of the pattern before and then I'll show them, of course, they'll say, well, pattern. Then I, of course, go to one of my, like number 4 of my saw tips is patterns, how to make them, how to use them, how to, send, how do I, different various ways that you can put them onto the wood. You can just put them on with regular see-through tape, or you can use blue tape and glue it to that, or you can just glue it right directly to it.
yeah,
A lot of the actual 3D patterns, I'll glue it directly to the woods. You know why? I don't have to worry about peeling it off because the outside is gone. It's the only inside, so that's all scrap anyway. It's all
yeah, yeah.
throwaway. And by the way, when you do a 3D cutter, that's scrap. There's nothing left you can use that for because I
Right.
do it.
Yeah,
There's nothing left on the outsides. But anyway, that's the only time we got scrap when I do a 3D
yeah, yeah. There's no scrap in my job.
compound 3. Yeah, compound 3D is a scrap. But anyway, but I just love. I think what it is. Again, this is going to sound, Marty. Please understand. Well, you know me well enough. But I do a lot of joking around, but I absolutely adore talking to people come and they appreciate the time that you give them. They can feel the genuineness in you that you're taking the time with them. And I said, look, I'm almost 70 years old. I want to pass this on to somebody who's interested in it, you know?
Well, a couple of things that's really neat about that too. One, woodworking in general. This I don't mean this as a bad thing, but woodworking in general, and especially scroll sign, they're dying fads.
Yep.
We are in the community. We have a lot of people we know do woodworking and scroll sign, but hardly anybody does anymore.
Yep.
And a lot of schools don't even have wood shop anymore. So it's really neat to keep it going and share people with people, and it's creative and it's fun and for adults and kids. And you know, and also there's so much you can teach through it too, and it's just so fun and enjoyable. And you're sharing your life, your experience, um and yeah, for the most part it's free, and you can't get much free anymore, so
No.
it is a wonderful thing. We like I say, even if I could afford it, I probably wouldn't travel that far for a woodworking show. We've had them right in Minnesota, and my grandpa and uncle, we used to go to them all the time. I don't even know if they have it anymore. I think they still do, but they had it at the fairgrounds, the state fairgrounds. but they are fun to go to. And like I say, if yeah, I can't make a trip down there, but if I can get a load that direction, we'll see. There's a lot of what ifs, but maybe I could show up and just be there. It'd be cool to see. Um, but they are neat, and there's woodworking shows all over the country. There's scroll saw shows. There's convention type things, and they're fun because it brings everybody together. Who again, it's a small community, really, woodworking
Right.
and especially scroll sign. But it's fun, and it's just I don't know, it's nostalgic, and so it is neat that there is shows like that.
Right. Well, I'm going to, a couple months ago, a friend of mine, he was cleaning his garage out or whatever and everything. And he goes, he says, "Hey, I got something I want to drop off." I said, "Okay, bring." Well, anyways, as it turns out, it was an old router. And, it's just been sitting around there. And of course, I'll bet you, and seriously, Marty, by the way, you get up this way, we're going through my shop and I've got I'll bet you, seriously, I've got 8 or 9 routers and I only need a couple, you know. So anyway, I'm going to be giving some of them away. But I've got the guy also brought over an old Craftsman scroll saw. It works, but I'm going to take that down with me. I'm going to clean it all up and make sure it's operating properly. And I'm going to give it to somebody who really comes in and shows an interest and likes, and I'd like to do this hobby, but I don't have a saw. I'm going to just say, here you go. Here's a saw, and here's a couple of patterns all glued up, ready to go to
That'd be
practice.
wonderful.
So somebody's
So,
going to get, it's not much, but it didn't cost me anything, but I'm happy to do it. I get rid of it. Plus, hopefully I turn somebody on, preferably a younger person. You know what I mean? I
well,
find, yeah.
that's the thing too, and I've talked. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about scroll saw and woodworking. I'm going to let you talk more, but just real quick, you can spend a lot of money on scroll saws. You can get the budget ones. I like to get the used ones online. I like the older Delta scroll saws. I have an 18-inch and a 16-inch in my shop that I use, and
Uh-huh.
I think I'm up to 12 in my garage that I
Right,
use for teaching, and I get them for nothing. I mean, some
right,
of them have, and I have a bunch of Deltas, but I also have some Craftsman. And the older Craftsmen, first of all, they're really small, they're really light, they're really simple. They take a pin blade usually, and but for most things, a pin blade is fine,
right,
and they're a really good starter saw.
right.
Um, but yeah, that's why I always tell people it's better to buy a used good one than a cheap new one.
Matter of fact, I'm glad you
And
just mentioned that. I'm glad you just mentioned that because I think this Craftsman's a pinned one, and I don't use them pins at all anymore on mine. I do have 3 saws that I use, by the way, all 3 of them regularly, and I think I've got a bunch of pin blades. I'll pull them out and send them with that too. So
well, the thing about the pin ones, especially the Craftsman, I don't know which one you have, but most of the older Craftsmans are the same. You just loosen the tension, you put the pin on the bottom, and you hook it on the top, and then you just tighten it. That is so simple that the kids can do it. The
right,
the pin the pinless ones are a little bit harder to put in
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
So the pin ones are easy to change, and unless you're doing really fine inside cuts, the pin ones are fine, and
oh yeah.
you can even get some higher quality pin ones.
Well, smaller, the pinless blades, that we use, a lot of times you get down into the small ones, under a 5, the 3s and the aughts, if you're really doing some fine stuff.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's hard to know whether you got it in correctly or not.
right.
It's
Yeah,
because they're so small. That
yeah.
reminds me. I always have a funny story for you, Marty. This just popped into my little pea brain. I remember years ago, I was a kid myself, and I was
Many,
probably
many years ago. Yeah.
oh yeah, a long time ago. I was probably 18, 19 years old. I worked at a place called Greco's TV, and we did everything. It was before I went to Armstrong, before, right out of high school. In fact, I was still in high school. I was probably my senior year in high school, and we would do everything. It was a mom and pop TV shop, but they sold everything. They were a big place. They sold all kinds of equipment. Radios, TVs, stereos, washers, dryers, refrigerator, freezers, ranges, and well, of course, all that stuff. We would install all that stuff. So a lot of times we would actually go out and now keep in mind this is long before cable TV. We would actually put antennas on houses and with twin lead, the old twin lead you'd hook up. We'd run
Yep.
it down and you'd have these big screw hooks. You'd run through the eyelet and everything. Well, I remember this is so funny. I've got this younger guy with me. He's a young year or two younger than me. And anyways, we got this big long drill, and that was the year that the cordless drills just started coming in to
Mm.
into. It was one of the first ones. And I'm on top of the roof, and I said, "Look, go down, drill a hole." And I said, "When you get the hole done, come back up so I can feed the wire." So, anyways, this kid's trying to drill a hole, and of course, he's got a big long bit. This bit must be probably 20, 28, 30 inches long. We're drilling
Okay.
through the floor. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, God Almighty, that kid's got to have that thing done by now. Well, finally, I went down. I said, "What is the problem?" He said, "I can't get this thing to drill right." He had the thing in reverse, and he's trying to
Oh
drill.
no. Oh no. Just
So that
burning
kind
it
of reminded me
probably.
of putting the blade in upside down. You're not going to get very much good production by that. Well, anyway, it's kind of a little funny story, but you don't realize, you don't know what you don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing about blades too, and when I've taught it, I I don't know if I have it anymore. I think I might have. I don't know. I took a 1x2 furring strip and I made a blade about this big,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put the teeth on it so I could show what because I use a reverse blade where
Right.
all the teeth are pointing down to the bottom and then they're pointing up.
Right.
And actually I use a skip reverse and to show that that
Yeah.
you have to have it when you put the blade in, the teeth have to be facing forward and they
Mhm.
have to be facing down.
Right.
So yeah, and the smaller the blade, the harder that is. I have bifocals on my scroll saw that I use so I can see the blade, and even that it's getting a little blurry.
Well, actually, Marty, you mentioned that because I was having, as you know, I told you a long time ago, I was having a lot of issues with my eyes, and it's just age, and that's unfortunate, but that's just the way the aging process is. Well, anyways, I tried to use different things. The magnifier, I have one of those magnifying, the big light thing, the magnifying light,
Oh
and that
yeah, me
works.
too.
That works to a certain extent, but it's in my way, and
Yeah.
and it's hard. Well, anyways, I found on good old Amazon or whatever it was online, I found this set of glasses that goes right over mine, and it's got different degrees of magnification, and they are wonderful. They've got
Okay.
lights on them and everything, and they
Oh,
work.
there's lights on them. Oh,
Yes,
nice.
they've got lights and everything, and it was like $30, $39 or something, and it works great. And what it did, now it sounds crazy, I know, I realize that, but and they look goofy, by the way. I would never take a picture and send it to you, but it has given me a lot of my scroll saw ability back to me that I had lost because of eyesight.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I don't care if it's a goofy little thing that helps you or enhances you because of that.
Right.
So I'm able to do some smaller stuff. I never was much of a fretwork anyways. I don't like all those inside cuts. They're just too much.
Yeah, me neither.
They're too much for. I don't have the patience for them. I really don't. But there are some that you have to do, especially like I use them now for doing those keychains. The names, because that's only a 1 inch stock. That's
So,
very small.
so what keychains are you talking about? Are you talking about the ones that are two sided,
Yeah,
like Tyler does?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
I haven't tried those. I don't know if I'd like them because they're getting really small as far as. But what I'd like to do is probably use that same pattern, but just make them one dimensional.
Okay. Well,
So
that's the way Steve Good designed it. The way he intended it to be done.
like 1/4 inch hardwoods and make
Yeah.
names for
Right.
keychains. I
Right.
think I'd like that.
Right.
I haven't
Well, the
tried it
thing
yet,
is, though,
but
like I say, I believe it or not, Marty, I don't do them so much for making them for me. I use them as a tool to turn other people onto the scroll saw
sure,
because
yeah,
it's like, where did you buy that? And I said, no, I made it. Scroll saw. Only a scroll saw can make those. And it's
yep.
like, wow, really? I said, yeah. So I know there's been a lot of times local people. I'll invite them over. Come on over. We'll make one for you. And
Well,
they
the
leave
thing
and they end
is,
up making them.
there might be ways of doing some of that. Well, okay, you could say a 3D printer. You could probably do something like that, maybe. Um, or like the 3D reindeer I do. You
Yeah,
can maybe
probably.
do that with a 3D printer, but
Yeah,
first of all, it's going to be plastic.
right.
Second, you're not going to see how it comes out of the wood. I think
No,
that's a fun thing to do too.
you can't see
So,
the grain in plastic. The grain of
right.
the wood comes through.
Yeah. So I like doing the block words and I've done a few videos on those. But what I also like to do, and there's different kinds. Like you got the tulip. Well, there's a 3D reindeer. Then there's the
Yep.
block words.
Yep. I've
But
got them.
another one that is a different kind of 3D compound cutting is the Jesus Lives.
Yep.
That one is vertical. And what's fun about that one is I don't know if I did a video or not, but when you make that one, when you take it apart, there's like 8 pieces come off of it. All the
Right.
and you got all these weird shapes that come off of that, and then you
Right.
see Jesus Lives in the middle. That's a fun one too. I'd like to do more of those vertical ones because
Yep.
it's a totally different thing. You're taking away wood. The other kind, you're just taking away the inside of the
Yeah.
letters.
Well, you know what I do there is I'll take a more advanced one like Jesus Lives, or I got one here that's Love Wood, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
Woodworking. Well, I'll take something like that down, and what I will do is during the downtime, if I have any, which there usually is, there's some downtime when nobody comes by, and I'll just sit there and scroll and be there available for them if they come by. But I'll actually start working on one, and then as you know, during the over the course of 2 days of being there all day for 2 days. I will get through one, and then what I love to do is I'll say somebody who wants to look at stuff, I will save the very final cut for when they come to look,
Oh yeah.
and then to watch it when you untape that whole thing, and then to watch their eyes all light up when you pull that all off. It's
Yeah.
amazing to watch their eyes, you know.
It is, and yeah, it is fun. I wish I could just stay home and do that kind of stuff or teach.
Yep.
I have thousands of patterns. Even before you gave me thousands, and I already had thousands.
Yep.
I have so many different things. Another thing you can do, like you show the tulip, there's
Right.
other things you can do that are two things. Like one direction, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, a deer, but then you turn it the other direction and it's a
Right.
ship or an
Oh,
anchor.
sure.
Those
Sure.
are so cool too. And what's amazing about those is when you take them apart, they're a little fragile, but it's surprising how solid they are.
Right, right. Well, a lot of those pieces are very fragile. You know, you got to really, really watch it because, like I say, there when you take them apart, there's just not much. You know, I mean, there's not much holding them in the center there. So you have to be careful.
Well, it's amazing with the vertical Jesus Lives and the like like the but first coffee, both of those. It's amazing how solid they are though. When you can sit there and keep cutting parts out and it doesn't break. They're all solid inside, which is pretty amazing.
Right, right, right. Well, those tulip ones, they are very, very fragile because that stem is just very thin. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that that stem is very, very thin. You got to really watch that one. You know.
Those those would be nice to make out of like maple, a little bit harder.
Yeah, that probably would be a good idea. Yep, maple would be better
Of
for
course,
sure.
you got to go slower and it can burn. But you don't. So when you do the tulip, what's the stock? Is it like 1 inch by 1 inch?
It's that's inch and a half. Excuse me, I just got to stand up for a minute. That's inch and a half by inch and a half. So that's I'll pull up.
Oh,
Hold on, let me
okay.
find out. I'll pull it out for you here.
Are you pulling your pants up?
Let's see here.
Were you pulling your pants up there?
No,
It looked like it.
no, no. Here we go. Yeah, it's inch and a half. In fact, I even wrote it down.
Okay, so that's better because
But
I
look how.
think the patterns I have are like 1/2 inch or 1 inch. They're pretty
Oh
small.
no, 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 no! I can't believe it. Maybe I think the deer, the reindeer, one side is like 3/4 inch. But
Yeah,
look how thin that stem is, though, Marty.
yeah, yep,
That,
yep.
that stem is so thin that you can't, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, so
Gosh, we've been
hey,
on for an
hey,
hour and a half.
is
Huh?
Chris still in there in Maryland?
I don't know. For some reason, I can't see who's on there. Can you?
No. Well, I see Maryland had something on there, but her.
Well, so Chris and Marilyn both came on, and I put their comment on the screen, but I can't.
Okay.
It doesn't show anybody on here. So I think I'm
Okay.
going to go back to using just YouTube because I can see and we can because the comments are the fun part.
Right.
Especially when it's just me, but when it's two people, see, people are going to watch this after more.
Right. Oh, by the
Um,
way, reminding you, you didn't let them know where you are yet. You don't want to bait them like that. And
well, the
but
thing
I was just
is,
going to ask. I was just going to
yeah.
ask where you are.
So let's just do it between me and you because I don't know. I don't know if anybody's on here. I don't see any comments. I have for some reason I can't get to my comments even. Uh,
Well, I have an idea where you might be or near, but I don't know exactly.
okay, you can guess.
I know you're in Idaho the other day, so you must
No,
be like Nebraska somewhere.
I was
Uh,
in Utah. I was in Utah yesterday.
oh, Utah. Okay, so you might be in. Yeah, are you in? Are you in Nebraska? Are you going down that way, or no? You're going up. No, you're up further than that.
I'm going up, but I'm not in. I'm not in Nebraska yet.
Okay. All right. So Wyoming.
Yeah, I'm in Wyoming.
There you go. You must be in Wyoming. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Big city, Laramie, Casper.
No, so I'm in Rollins. So I took I-80 east, and right from
Oh,
Rollins,
that's right. Yeah, you said that. Yeah, you said that on the chat.
I go north like for about 2 hours on the back roads to Casper, and then I go east through Wyoming. Sometimes I go to Gillette. Sometimes I go over to Lusk, Nebraska, or Wyoming. Well, yeah, somewhere in there, and then I end up by Rapid City, and then I go across South Dakota. Now
Right.
I have less than 6 hours today, so it'll be a short day anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll probably maybe get to Rapid City or somewhere. But just another quick little thing here, right across the highway, and I can actually see it,
Yeah.
is the car with two fronts on it.
Really?
And I did a video. Otherwise, I'd walk over there. But I've done a video on that. It's pretty amazing how they did that. I
Oh,
mean,
that's cool.
it's right here. If I wanted to, I could spit and hit it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'd want to spit because if I spit, then the owner probably come out and pound me.
Uh,
And I can't spit good anyway. I'm the kind that I try to be cool and spit.
yeah.
I go, and then
Get it
it
all over
hangs and
yourself.
it's stuck and it's all. You don't want to.
Didn't
I don't
need
want to
that.
be.
Didn't
We
need
don't
to
need
hear
that.
that.
I don't know where I went there, but yeah, that car's right across the highway here. It's at a Conoco, and it's pretty cool. Um,
Nice.
I don't know much about cars, but I don't know what you'd have to do because it drives from both ends. The
Wow.
guy he takes it in parade, and I think there's two drivers in it. You can go forward and then you can go back, and it's pretty cool.
Right. Well, that reminds me. That reminds me of the old famous crocagator. You ever heard of it? It's down in Florida. You crocagator.
Okay, 1 second. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this, but we're at an hour and a half, and I got to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to go back and take care of that. You tell that story.
The crocagator.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not very long, Marty. It's a very short.
Well, I shouldn't take too long.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, the story goes like this. And by the way, this is not a story. This is real life. This is for real. So if you believe that, okay. Down in Florida, okay, southern Florida, there's an animal. It's called the crocagator. Okay, he has a crocodile head on one end and an alligator head on the other end. Same as that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And he is
No, I
proposed.
mean, oh no, I missed.
Oh, he's the he is the
No.
meanest animal in the world. And anyway, he said, "Well, I don't understand the meanest animal in the world. If he's got a crocodile head on one end and an alligator head on the other, how does he go to the bathroom?" And so the fellow says, "Well, he doesn't. That's what makes him the meanest animal in the world, the crocagator." So Marty, when you go to Florida, you can always use that. Okay, ask the locals. Tell me about this crocagator that lives down here. I've heard about him, but I've never seen one. You'll get them going.
I like that. I like that.
There you go. I told you. I'm always good. I'm always good for one.
So, um, okay, we can keep rambling here. I had some questions for you. I was going to show, well, real
Well,
quick.
go ahead with them.
I was just going to show a few things I have. I know people have seen my stuff, but here's a few things I have in the truck that I make. I love making my Jesus words, and I love
Right.
giving these away.
Mm-hmm.
I have those. I love making the smiles. This is some
Yeah,
different word art. This
I
is a
love that. Remember, I asked you for that pattern once, and you just said take a screenshot of it.
oh, okay. I'll have to send it to you.
Well, you
I
know
actually have.
yeah, but you know the cool thing I like about your schmillies is the fact that you can put all different types of smiles actually in there.
Yeah, well, that's fun, and I do, and I have one on my dash Velcro, and that one's got a different kind of smile. Here's my Christmas ornament from last year,
Right.
and then this is my old prayer cross, and this is
Yeah.
my newer one.
Yeah, I like them.
You know, that's just a few things I have in the truck, but I like simple things, and again, I have thousands of patterns, but I make the same things just because they're fun.
Right.
Um, so I had a. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure, go ahead. I hope I can answer them.
So, um, well, and I guess we don't have to go through all of them. And then if you have questions for me too, that'd be fine too. But um, so and you don't have to talk for an hour on each one, but you can. I mean, I got nothing but time today. But
Yeah, I
if
know,
we're
but we
done,
don't want to make it boring for the folks.
yeah, if maybe we can shoot to be done at 2 hours, so we got like 25 minutes. But we
Okay.
can go more if people are having fun. Of course, there's nobody on here, but I don't know. Anyway, um, how did you get started in woodworking?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I can't do this in a minute or two.
Oh, take
Anyway,
your time. Yeah, run with it.
well, I actually, what happened was my grandfather had a scroll saw, and I don't know, I don't remember how age I was at, but anyways, he gave it to me, and it sat on the shelf. It just literally sat on the shelf. I never used it, and then finally, I decided, you know what, I had to pull that thing down. Make well, I called him Pa. He was my pa, and I wanted to make him proud of me. I was probably about 14 or 15 years old, but it probably sat there 4 or 5 years, and I didn't do a thing with it. And like I say, so then Lynn and I were, we finally were married and everything, and I told her, I said, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm just going to work a little bit, and I want to make a little wood shop is what I'd like to do. Well, anyway, this thing was horrible. It was a what's the name brand of it? It's an old version. I can still see it. It was brown, and it was two-tone brown with a little tiny corrugated aluminum plate. I'll think of
So,
the name.
do you know approximately what year it would have been?
Oh God, 1980. Oh, probably early 80s.
Okay, so actually, the okay, so scroll saw history is really interesting too. You know, it goes way back to the 1600s. But
Oh yeah. Oh, the old
and
pumpkin.
if you have anything older than 1980, they're really cumbersome. They're not that great. But actually, the 80s and 90s, that's when they started making the deltas and the good ones. Those are actually pretty good scroll
Yeah.
saws.
Now
But
this was. I just remembered. It was a Dremel. Dremel.
oh, okay, I've
It
had a
was.
couple Dremels. I
It
don't
was
like them.
Marty. It was only like maybe 18 inches long, 16 inches long, light. You couldn't.
It had a really
Pin.
tiny table.
Tiny little table, pin blades. It had on off, no 2 speed, no, just on off, and you turn that sucker on, and it would vibrate across the room. I mean, you couldn't even. It was horrible. If anybody would not take to the scroll saw because of something, that would have done it for me. Well, anyways, I went down there and I started doing things which I thought at the time were very cool. And I went down there and I was, I don't know, I went down basically before supper. I said, just bang on the floor when supper's ready, I'll come up. And I'm sitting there and scrolling along, and all of a sudden it's like it occurs to me I'm getting really, really hungry. And I look up and I'm looking outdoors and it's pitch black dark out. Pitch black. Look at my watch. It is 1:15 in the morning.
You were having fun.
Yeah. Come upstairs, go to bed. Up in the morning, I said to her, I said, we're getting ready for work, both of us. She was a nurse at a nursing home. I went down to Armstrong. 6 o'clock in the morning, we're both getting no kids yet. And I said to her, I said, why didn't you call me up for dinner? She said, I did 3 or 4 times. You never answered.
You couldn't hear over the Dremel.
Apparently. Now, I'm telling you, that thing would literally jar your teeth right out of your head. You know? Well, that's how I got started. And I made my grandfather a little wreath holder. Basically, it was the shape of a Santa Claus, and it was 3D. You put a block of 2x4, and then it had a mitten that went out front like this, and you
Oh,
hung
sure. Yeah.
the wreath over. I got that from the Winfield collection.
Oh, yeah. I
That was
remember the
my very
Winfield.
that was
I
my
love
very
those
first
catalogs.
that was my very first one, and from that point on, I loved it. I got a used scroll saw, stepped up a little bit. It wasn't years until I really got my first good saw. And but that's how I got started in it. It was fun and it was enjoyable. It was something I could do. It didn't take a lot of money. As I said, the saw was given to me. My very first saw was given to me, and so, like I say, when I get a chance to return the favor, I like to pay that forward. And that's why I'm so insanely, um, connected with trying to turn people on to scroll sawing, get them interested in it. That's how I got interested.
Well, and here's the thing. The neat thing about scroll sign, yes, it's using a machine, but you're still cutting it by hand. You're still doing it. And that's a good thing to teach people that you can't, everything isn't just automatic and quick and easy.
Nope.
And so you have to turn the wood and make something, but you're rewarded with a wonderful thing you make. Mine was the same way. My first scroll saw I got in 1992. It was I think it was a 18-inch Craftsman. I have it on a shelf in my shop. I've showed it before, and um, it vibrated like crazy. The blade holder was terrible, but it got me excited in making things. I still enjoyed it, and then I got better from there. But it's almost, and I guess it depends on the person,
Yep.
but it's almost good to start on a hard one because it
Yep.
shows
Oh,
you, okay, people say, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but if you like it to begin with, then you're really going to like it when you get a better one.
yep. I forgot to
Um,
tell you too. Also, the cord on it was frayed. It would shock me all the time I'd use it.
oh no,
Oh yeah, I'm sitting there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thought it was the vibration. I'm getting shocked.
oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I wasn't not a very smart man, Marty. But that's how I got started. I know it's a very simple and kind of a meager, but that's how, you
Well,
add.
those shocks probably kept you awake. You're probably starting to doze off, and then you get shocked, and oh, I might as well keep scrolling.
Well, I respond pretty good to pain, apparently. So, yeah. Anyway, but that's how I got started. Kind of weird, but that's the truth. I mean, that's the way it worked. And then I worked my way up. Like I say, I got some, better saws. And then, like I say, I'm at the point in my life now where, I've worked hard my whole life, and I've got, one of my saws is brand new that I bought brand new. I did buy a brand new DeWalt, but that's the one that was new. The Hagner I bought that used, and the Delta I bought that used, and I love that. My Delta, I think I probably like that the most. But I don't use it as much as I do the DeWalt, only because I'm afraid to break, the holders. And you gave me a replacement one for it, and I broke it once, and I don't want to break it again. So I'm very
Yeah.
careful. I use it for very special projects.
So, I think I figured one time I bought about 50 scroll saws or so,
Sure.
and probably more like 60 or 70 now. But some of them were free. Some of them were 5, $10, $20,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say about 40 of them I bought for schools,
Sure.
and I left them at the schools,
Yep.
two different schools, and then ones I have right now are for teaching. But as
Right.
far as for myself, I've only had used ones. The funny thing is, the only new one I had was also the DeWalt,
Yep.
and I bought it brand new. Um, and I actually had it for 10 years, and then I had to sell it. We just needed money, so I sold a lot of my tools, and I sold it. And I don't remember how much I got, but it still had real good value even after
Right.
10 years. But
Well, I have the same philosophy as you with tools. I would much rather, and by the way, I actually give this tip to people I got from you, and that is that I would much rather buy a really decent used, piece of machinery than a brand new piece of junk. Because, and again, I don't want to badmouth any, but they're out there. There's some of them that they're making them, they're very cheap and they're very inexpensive, but number one, they're not going to last long because they're just not built that way. Most of them are plastic, the most amount. And number two, the quality of them, they're not conducive to really making good cuts. When you get on your first really good saw, like a really good Delta or a very good, DeWalt or Hagner or something like that, That's like a Cadillacs of the machines.
It
It,
is,
it,
yeah.
it is a huge step up, and that's why I say. And as you know, I go on the marketplace and the swap sheets. They are in abundance. If all you
Well,
got to do is wait 5 minutes, and you can find one 10 miles away from you.
yeah. So here, two things. One, the comments are working, but when I put it on the screen, like you
Yeah,
can see Chris's comment now,
yeah,
then I can't see my comment. So I have to put it on and then take it off. And then now I can see the comments. Chris is still on. I think my love is still on. So there's that. But yeah, I agree. And the thing is, you can if you have $100, you can go buy. I'm not going to mention the brands. There's a few cheap ones out there, um, and they're mostly plastic.
yep.
There's some metal ones, but $100, you get $100 off.
That's right.
Or you can go on Facebook Marketplace or old school eBay or whatever, or those other places you can get used tools, garage sales, and you can pay $100 for one that was $500.
That's right.
But now it's
Which,
$100, but it's still worth that
but
because it's
when it was
metal and it
five
was built
hundred,
good.
yeah, when it was 500, it's probably 1,000 now.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
me, like I will mention one brand, for example. I've seen them, but I would not pay $1,500 for a Pegasus. It's just too much money. I don't think it's,
oh
that's
yeah.
great. It's a beautiful saw, and I've used one. I've worked on one before, but I got
So
news for you. It's as good as, in my Delta, my DeWalt is probably people will argue, I'm sure, but I'm telling you, it's not $800 more worth that to me.
no,
You know?
no. Well, so here's the thing. A couple things on that. My point of view. If we're talking about brand new scroll saws, there's kind of like three levels. Bottom of the line for like $100 or whatever, or something
Yeah.
like a Wen or something like that. Middle would be like a DeWalt or Delta. Top of the line would be Pegasus, Excalibur, and they're
Caliber,
like 1,000 or 1,500. But you really,
Seiko.
anything will work. It's better to get a good used one.
Yeah.
Also, what's kind of funny is they keep making them bigger.
Yes.
So my favorite saw is my 16-inch Delta. I mean, look at I make things like this. I mean, and I have proven. I've done a video. I made. It was for somebody's wedding. It was their name, and it was like 3 foot long. And I made it on a 16-inch
Mhm.
Delta.
Yeah.
So you can even do big projects. You just got to be creative.
Right.
But they keep making them bigger. There's 16, then 18, then
Well,
20, then
Pegasus,
22.
Pegasus has a 31-inch scroll saw now.
I know. It just takes up.
31.
It just takes up more room. You don't need something that big. And
No.
so, yeah, if you have the money, whatever,
Right.
but you don't have to. And again, it's just in general, it's better to go on and get a good used one than a brand new cheap one.
Agreed. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. But I
Um,
will say this much. I'll say this. I could never go back to a real cheap, you know. I bought a brand, believe it or not, but when I got back into it before I started getting my better saws, I bought a Ryobi, brand spanking new. Guess what? I remember distinctly. It was $127, brand spanking new, 16-inch. Took it out of the box, put the blade in it. It was a pin and a pinless blade. Chuck's head for both of them. Took it out of the box, used it once, never touched it again.
yeah.
It was all
So,
plastic. It vibrated. It was horrible. I gave it away to a friend of mine who is a woodworker, and I told him, I said, look, this is for what it's worth. It's been used once. He just it's brand new. I said it's been used once. I even had the box, and so I gave it to him. But like I say, I would never, being scrolling for 40 years, I would never go back to a real cheap one because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
so
I wouldn't
yeah.
enjoy it.
So there's another thing as far as getting them on marketplace and good deals. Not every state has that because I know Chris
That's right.
and Frankie have mentioned they can't find deals like that. So I think it depends on where you live too. Minnesota, people don't know what a scroll saw is or they don't use it, so they practically give them away. I have got
Yep.
a lot of free ones.
Yep.
So
You
there's
know where I
that
find a
too.
lot of them? I find a lot of them at state sales or
Yeah, that too.
barn
Yep,
sales.
yep.
Well, what happens
So,
is a lot of these people, particularly younger people, my father died. He had this in his shop. They don't know what it's worth. And they'll say, I'll give you, I want $50 for that. And I said, no, it's worth 100. I'll give you 100 for it. And their eyes get like, you wouldn't believe it. I said, that saw's worth 200. I'll give you
yeah,
100 for it. You wanted 50, I'll give you 100. Oh, I'll take it. They don't know what it's worth, but I want them to know that I'm not trying to take advantage of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
I just think that's important. I would feel bad. I know it's a great deal and everything, but I know you're trying to make money or whatever, or put it back in, or
And
they'll
some
say, "Oh
people,
no, that's all I want." I said, "All right, well then take the extra 50 and give it to your charity of choice, whatever." But
yeah.
to me, it's
Well,
worth.
and some people they build cabinets or they make furniture, and so they don't want something like that. It's basically for crafty things and little gifts. So,
Right,
um, you know, when I go pick up scroll saws for my teaching, right now I have like 10 or 12 in my shop.
right,
I only get Delta and Craftsman.
yeah,
I, Even if they want to give them to me, I won't even take them for free. Really, and yeah, some of the ones that I've gotten that aren't that great are Ryobi, Dremel, um, some of those cheaper brands. I don't like them.
yeah,
Um, yeah, because they're not as fun to use. And
right.
so, what would you say is your favorite tool? We can go through some of these quick, and just maybe another half hour we could be done.
My favorite or the one I use the most?
So, I would say your favorite tool. It doesn't have to be a scroll saw. Just your favorite tool in
Scroll
woodwork.
saw. Scroll saw.
Okay, so what would be your favorite brand? Your favorite one?
Delta.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I even like like I say, I gave $200 for my Delta. It came with a stand and everything. It was a big 18-inch.
Is
The
this
what
a
is it?
Q3?
The Q3. Yeah,
Okay.
and and like I say, I have trouble now. I would buy for parts alone. I would buy just to have parts. But and then I bought the used Hegner. I think I paid. I think the guy wanted like 700, and I gave him 600
Yep.
plus shipping, and it came from Texas, and I love it. It works beautiful. It's
Those
great.
were a
Scroll wheel.
thousand or more brand new.
I love it. In fact, I think I'm going to take that down to the extravaganza with me this time. And then
Yeah,
I have the DeWalt,
just to
which I
show a
use.
different one.
The
Okay.
DeWalt I got the most money into, but the Hegner's a little bit different only because the again it's got a tiny little table,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I love to use it for like an ornaments because it's very very precise. It's very stable, and it does a great job. I use it for the smaller blades, the more infinite work.
Between your three, I like the Q3 the best, and I like the table the best too. And the thing about Delta, the old quick set blade holders, I love them, but they are cumbersome. They have a lot of moving parts. They
Yeah.
break, but they're still my favorite.
I like them
Every
when they work. I like them when they
everybody,
work.
yeah,
When they fall apart, they're not.
everybody has gone to a regular thumb screw. It's simple, it's basic, but
Yeah.
they strip out they different things. But
You
yeah,
know something? I've never stripped one because I just know. First of all, there's a guy down in Georgia, I think Marietta, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. I can't remember his name, an old guy. And I've talked to him on the phone, and I bought. It was worth the price. I'm telling you, Marty. It wasn't cheap either, but he had these beautiful aluminum with grips and everything, wheels that go over top of the saw. I got them for the DeWalt, and I'm telling you, they are awesome. I've never stripped a one because of those. It's one of those accessories that was awesome.
so what you talking about the knob?
The knob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know how they got the knobs? They kind of like banana shaped.
Yep.
They're black plastic, banana shaped. Well, this I'll take a picture of it and send it to you sometime.
So is it
This
like a big round one, like a knurled grip?
Well, it's not huge. It's just, but it's yeah, it's big and round, and it's the guy makes them. He's a metal fabricator,
So is
and
it aluminum?
aluminum, very
Yeah,
light,
I've
and it's
seen
got a set
those.
screw. And I'm
I
telling you, best thing I ever did because you don't strip them, and it's easy on your fingers. It doesn't hurt your fingers, to do it. Top and bottom, both of them.
That would be
Awesome.
cool to get. Yeah,
I bought them for both. I bought them both for the DeWalt and for the Hegner.
I've seen them. I'd like to get those. And I've seen people even make them out of wood and stuff. But and that would go over
Yeah,
the DeWalt ones. I stripped out quite a few, but I think I was just doing it too tight. You
yeah,
don't have to do it that tight. There's things I've learned. If you wipe the oil off your blades, they
yeah.
don't slip. If you sand them a little bit, so then they grip better. You don't
Sand the
have to
back of them.
crank them on there.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
sand. Do you sand the back of your blades, or I mean, file them?
sometimes, yeah, that
Oh,
helps too.
there's
Yep.
a lot of burrs. Like that's one of my tips. A lot of burrs on the back of the scrolls. You can't see them, But if
Yep.
you're really careful, you can slide and you'll feel little burrs.
Yep.
What I do is I'll take a little flat file and then run the saw and then just run it across
Yep.
there. And
I got
then
one by my saw. Yep.
yeah, it also makes it glide through the wood easier. It kind of bevels it's kind of like putting a tail. It's like the wind for your truck, going
Yeah.
over the top. Those things.
Yep.
Same concept. You file it off a little bit and round it off. It goes, especially when you're doing those thick cuts. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Much I do every blade. It's just force of habit now for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great tip, and it only takes a second. Literally takes 15 seconds.
Right. Yep. So what's one of your favorite projects, things that you just enjoy making on scroll saw?
Thing on the scroll saw. The one that I milk the most. Um, I don't know. Probably the cute little desk type names. And I made one for Ellie's teacher. In fact, she's already reminded me, my little Ellie. She's got a new teacher this year, Mrs. Marco. We have to make her a name desk thing for her desk. So she's Ellie's the hero of the class because she brings her teacher in a uh, a scroll sawed desk plate for her. And of course, Marco has an O. So what's the O going to be? It's going to be an apple, the shape of an apple. The O will be an apple.
Okay.
So we'll make a nameplate. But I like making names and nameplates, and I like making love making these little nativity scenes, and the little, all those times. I like to make small Christmas ornaments. Probably my favorite. I like banging out Christmas ornaments because
Yeah.
again, I give them away. I
Yeah.
make them. I'm like you. I make a lot. I don't make 200 at a time like you, but I'll make a dozen or so, and I also like making. I always make gifts for the people in my office up there. I make them all gifts at Christmas time. They
Yeah.
love.
That is so wonderful.
I
Yep.
know they. Well, the thing is, like you say, they look at that and it's like, wow, it's so nice that you thought of me to go and find that. Well, of course, now they all know that I do scroll sawing. It's like,
Yep.
oh, now they know I make them. So yeah,
So
those are probably the favorite things I like making.
okay. So is there anything that you don't like making, or you don't care to even learn to make, or like
Fretwork.
something you?
The fretwork's too much because of the eyes. I think I'd like
Yeah.
to do
Same
more.
with me.
It's just well, there's two things. Number one, the eyes, and truly, it is the eyes. The eyes are getting older, and I don't. And number two, I really don't have the patience anymore to sit there for hours and hours and hours. I used to be able to do it for hours, but now I'll get a 2 hour session in, and that's probably enough for me. But I do it more
Well,
on.
yeah. I mean, I don't like fretwork too much. I like at the most 10 inside cuts, and that's a lot for me. Like
Yeah,
my Joy to the World or Bless This Home, some of those are nice. That's about it. I've seen some that are massive. They're huge. Uh,
well,
like
that
almost
bless
like
this
a
house must have had a lot.
huh?
That bless this house you did last week must have had a lot.
No, that was only like 10 or 12. That I don't
Okay.
mind. To me,
Okay.
that's not a lot. I don't like the ones that are like a scene of like an eagle flying over a mountain and there's like 200 inside cuts.
No.
That's just first. Let's say it's nice to look at. You know, like I get my Scroll Saw magazine and there's different things in there. I'm like, that's cool, but I don't want to make it.
Yeah.
Then also, when you're done, you've taken out so much wood. There's
Yeah.
more air. There's more empty space than there is wood, and you can't
Yeah.
even see the wood grain because there's so much removed.
Well,
Uh,
it is pretty remarkable though. Now there's a girl.
it
There's a
is. They're
girl.
beautiful.
Yeah, there's a girl down to the convention. I'll just call it the convention. Her name is Berta, and she's incredible. She does things like, and in fact, she does one every year that she gives away, for a raffle for the group. And she does like the Last Supper. You would not believe them.
Oh
It's
yeah.
phenomenal. But I don't have that patience. And she has showed me before where she'll get down to the last two or three or four cuts and it breaks. Can you
Oh
imagine putting weeks and weeks and weeks into something and have it break last second? I would just, I'd string myself up. I swear.
yeah.
That's part of the patience. I couldn't do that. You know.
So I have one more question, and then I'm gonna read some stuff, and I want you to just comment your thoughts. So I want to uh, just give some ideas for people as far as stores to get scroll saw blades, wood, some woodworking forums,
Right.
Facebook pages, YouTubers, and then you can comment on them. But I have one last question. Uh, what is like one of your favorite things to make for Christmas? I love the Christmas season. So it can be a Christmas theme thing, like you showed the nativity, or it can be what's one of your favorite gifts to make for people at Christmas?
Oh boy, that varies again. What
Yeah.
I do a lot for me, and again, I can't answer it categorically, Marty. But what I will do is I will actually say, "Well, I'm stumped this year." Like I right now, I'm stumped, and I'll say, and a lot of people, I will like the people for the office. I usually make the same thing for them, all the same gifts. One of the coolest things I ever did, and it was probably one of the easiest things. And I did this like 3, 4 years ago, and they loved it. And that was I call it the Charlie Brown Christmas tree or the bent.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've done them too.
They absolutely love that. It was adorable. You know, it's a little bent over, and I got all these used Christmas balls, and I'll take this oversized Christmas ball and put
Yeah.
it on a little swivel. That was one of the favorite ones I did. But like for this year, what I will do is I will
I,
literally, I don't mind going on Etsy or what's that other one, Instagram. You know, they have a lot of great ideas, and I'll just look up
oh yeah.
novel DIY Christmas gifts and things like that, and I'll find something. And then I'm again like you. I will make it similar, but it would never ever ever is it exactly the same. And it's not because
No.
it's
Tweak it
well,
to
it's
your
not
own.
because well, it's not because of it's I'm afraid of any copyright or anything like that. It's just that I get an idea which I'd rather make it my own, and I get a better idea. Well, not better. I shouldn't say that. That's horrible. I get an idea that I prefer. It looks better to me, you know.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
and I'll be doing that, you know, this year. And of course, I've got
so
like you thousands of magazines and websites to go on, and there's no excuse for people to not to be able to find patterns because they're everywhere for free.
yeah.
Everywhere.
So couple of things. One, I've made the bent Christmas tree too. Yeah, the Charlie Brown tree or the Grinch tree. I made a pattern for it, and it's simple to make. You just make the
Yep.
tree in a base.
Yep.
I like your idea of doing a big ornament though, because I've always done a little one, but
Oh, the
big
one, yeah,
one
the big
shows
one.
that it's bent. I like that.
Yeah. Well, this is about, well, let's see. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's about 3.5 inches, 4 inches, maybe.
Okay.
Well, it's give you an idea of my hand.
Yeah.
I'd say it's
Yeah.
about 4 inches.
That's a cool idea.
Here,
The
let me
other
see.
thing is, so people keep asking me about patterns and plans on my YouTube channel. I'm like, I don't really have a way of doing that. Besides, I'm like, you do the work. I
I
mean, I bought a lot of patterns. I get free patterns. There's millions out there. Go on Google, just
I
put
make
a
my own. I hand draw them.
yeah, you can make your own. Go on Google. There's a millions of places to get free patterns, and you can buy them, magazines, books,
Yep.
and yeah. So there's no excuse not to. Um, but yeah, so I'm trying to think this year. Um, so yeah, we're just tighter. This might be the first year in many years that we're probably not going to buy gifts, even for our kids and grandkids.
Yep.
So we just can't do it.
I
And
have.
you know, uh, but I'm going to make Christmas ornaments, and I want to think of something though that I can make for our kids and grandkids, which that's going to be about 30 gifts or so.
Right.
Um, but I want to think of something that I can make that won't be huge because we have to mail a few. I don't know this year. I need some ideas. One year I made a trinket box, a keepsake box for
Yeah.
every one of our kids and every one of the grandkids. One year I think I made one for each family, each of our kids, so 7 kids, but between my wife and I.
Yeah.
They were cell phone speakers. And then for I made a nativity scene for all the kids, the families, and
Right.
every year I give them a few more pieces, and I think I pretty much completed that. So I'm thinking of something I don't know what, some unique thing that's unique and that's not super hard to make. Um, yeah, I don't know, something that would be a nice gift for like the whole family or for each.
Right.
I'm still brainstorming on that, and then I got to have time to make them too. But um, I'm going to go through some just quick lists here, and then you can give me your thoughts or if you have anything to add.
Uh-huh.
Um, so, like for me, for stores, for buying scroll saw blades and wood and tools. Um, well, and again, you can go online and get better
And I
deals
do.
on scroll saw blades and all that. But I love Menards. That's my favorite store. But I also like Rockler, Fleet Farm, Woodcraft, different stores like that. What I think is really fun. is now we're talking old school back in the early 90s. There used to be woodworking forums,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know if they're still out there, but I really enjoyed them. And basically, it was online, like on a website, and there's forums of all different. Okay, there's woodworking ones, there's scroll sign ones, and you sit and talk back with people, and it was always really fun. And I miss that. My favorite one was lumberjocks, and
Yep.
it was all
They're
woodworking.
still going.
Are they still going?
They're still going.
And they
Yep.
had specifically scroll sign, and then within scroll sign, you could have intarsia, fretwork, puzzles. So Lumberjacks was a good one. Scrosaw Village, Scrosaw Woodworks and Crafts kind of had one. Wood Net, Sawmill Creek. There were forums, and so you can get ideas, you can see patterns, and you can talk back and forth. Those were always really
Mm-hmm.
fun. I miss
Sure.
those. But now more modern are Facebook groups. Some of the Facebook groups I have that where you can go on, and what I like about these, just for getting ideas. Like right now, people are putting pictures on of things they're making for craft shows and for
Right.
Christmas and stuff.
Right.
731 woodworking community is probably my favorite. Um, so one of my favorite YouTube woodworking is 731 Woodworks, which is Matt from
Oh,
Arkansas.
Matt
He's
Outlaw.
gotten into doing a lot of reviews and tools, but that's okay. He's a great guy. But this is a community page on Facebook, and it's really good. I also have Scrosa enthusiasts, Scrosa for beginners, woodworking hobbyists, Intarsia nuts, Scrosa Association of the World, woodworking tips, Scrosa Intarsia woodworking, Scrosa artists, Scrosa magic. I think it's a UK one. Scrosa Pattern Cafe, Scrosa Woodworking. Those are all Facebook groups that you can join and get ideas. Um, some of my favorite uh, YouTubers on that are woodworking, and I'm just giving you some of them. There's some I missed, and there's some I haven't watched for a while are still out there. Some of my favorites, starting with the first ones Steve Ramsey at Woodworking for Mere Mortals. I started watching him in 2013 or 2012. That's when I started doing woodworking videos, and I thought I could do that. And he was actually pretty small there. I think he's up to 1 or 2 million subscribers now. Funny guy, simple project. Um, but yeah, there's Woodworking for Mere Mortals. Then there's Steve Carmichael, Sly's Corner, 731 Woodwork. Would You Make It? Jenny and Davis, Fabian's Tiny Workshop, Carpenter's Daughter, April Wilkerson, Wood by Right, Darbin Ober, 4321 Woodworks, Burke Make Stuff, Worth the Effort, Larry Satchel, Tales from the Tinkridge, Stumpy Nubs, one of my first ones I watched.
Mm-hmm.
Fisher's Workshop, he's
He's
great.
funny.
Drew.
He's a
Um,
funny guy.
one of my all-time favorites, Eric Roten. The family is wonderful. I've talked to him a few times. I've sent him some scroll saw gifts. I learned to carve signs by him. I've talked to him a couple of times. We were going to meet for coffee in Arizona, and still haven't met him. I would love to meet Eric. Wonderful family. Uh, John's Tiny Workshop. Doug Linker,
Oh,
the
the
Wood
carver.
Gnome that we know Andy from the UK. Um, Anne of All Trades, The Blind Woodsman, and one of the more recent ones, Who's the Boss. So that's just a lot of just sources for getting ideas for woodworking and getting sources and patterns and plans and all that stuff. And also just inspiration and also just joining the community and talking to other woodworkers. So I don't know if you have any others to add to those or thoughts on those.
Well, I watch every one of them except I think maybe one or two that you mentioned. I've seen them all multiple times, and they're all really great.
I got to go to
Um,
the bathroom again. So I'm going to do that. You share if you have others or ideas or you have the floor for a few minutes.
well, I have a I happen to have this what I call Great Scroll Saw Resource Links sheet that I hand out down at the convention there,
Okay.
and you know a lot of them are. I'll just go down my list, and I actually I
Oh boy, you
it
can see more of me than I was hoping, but yeah.
yeah it'll take longer, but you know I mean I'm not going to give the actual address. All you got to do is write them down, and you'll see. Obviously, Steve Good, you know, he's
Oh, I
his
forgot him.
well,
Yeah.
Steve Good, he's the number one. Wonderful guy. Scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com. His are all free. His site alone will keep you going forever. You won't run out of patterns, trust me, with him. Fox Chapel's publishing website, they've got a lot of great stuff. They're the ones that do the Scroll Saw Woodworking and Crafts magazines that we all love so well. Um, and you've got, and here's one that's really cool. Now, this site, I don't even know if you know this one, Marty, but I came across it several years ago, and it's called suncatcherstudio.com. All one word, suncatcherstudio.com. And there's tons of patterns and resources, little programs. They've got digital images. They've got all kinds of little like the scroll saw pattern thing that Steve gives out. They've got a couple of different things there. Another one that's really good is
What's the name of that one again?
that's called Suncatcher Studio.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of it.
Suncatcher Studio, suncatcherstudio.com.
Okay.
Suncatcherstudio.com. That's really cool. There's a tons of stuff on there. And there's fonts, a font generator, all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. I actually stumbled across it several years ago by mistake. Of course, there's all kinds of scroll pattern books. I know I've heard you mention Patrick and Patricia Spielman. They I don't know if they're doing it anymore, but they've got their stuff is still out in publication. Sawshub.com is another one. There's 60 great patterns there that are really, really good. And then if you want to learn, there's a guy really cool. He's kind of funny, and he's from the UK, and his name is Dai, Dai, and then in quotes, Love Spoons.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He is funny. He's the guy that has the Hegner. He's got the old fashioned Hegner. He'll never go off that saw. That's his favorite saw. But he is awesome. He's the guy that I learned to get the little knobs from that guy down in Georgia.
I've only
Um,
watched him a couple of times. I got to check him out. I'm going to write some of these down.
sure. There's a scroll saw newbie, scroll saw NEWB.com, scroll saw newbie.com. He's got all kinds of scroll saw tips and tricks. Of course, she's gone now. She passed away last year, but Judy Gale Roberts,
Yep. Yep.
she's probably the premier Intarsia person. She was just phenomenal. Here's a great one if you got somebody that's brand new. I send them to this one a lot. It's called northernnester.com.
Oh,
All
okay.
one, northernnester.com. It's Nester, northernNester.com. And then, of
Yeah.
course,
See, I'm getting ideas here. I was going to say real quick, all the books and magazines out there.
yep.
You can still find back issues, and you can find used scroll
Mhm.
saw and woodworking books at Goodwill, at thrift stores, at garage sales. They're out there. So many great sources out there. But yeah, continue on.
There was a guy that was on Marketplace in my area just a couple weeks ago, and he was giving away his entire collection of scroll saw magazines.
Yep.
And he
I got a
said,
bunch
just
that way. Yep.
come get them, he said. And
I,
I'll tell you what, it wasn't long and they were gone.
I got a whole box of my favorite was Woodworks and Crafts
Yeah.
before Scroll Saw Workshop. I got a lot of the older ones. And by the way, I think I have the first issue of both of those magazines and the most recent. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
they're all great.
Very neat. Yeah. But that's a short list of some of the resources that I give out. But there's, like I say, you can go online and just go on YouTube and just, you know, do the search and just say scroll saw tips or scroll saw DIY projects or Christmas projects or birthday gifts or whatever, scroll puzzles for children. You will, I mean, you'll go so deep, you'll have more than you can ever imagine. Like I
So
say, there's no excuse not to have materials.
yeah, and I would encourage people, yeah, buy magazines, buy books. I mean, sometimes you got to buy stuff. I bought a lot of mine,
You
but
know what?
there's a lot of free things. And the other thing is, what's really simple is, let's say you want to make an apple puzzle.
Hmm.
Just go on Google and just put in Apple clip art, and you can even put black and white, and you'll get hundreds of different ones. Just print them off,
Yep.
You know, and you can make your own pattern. You can make templates like I do. Also, go on Microsoft Word on your computer and just spell words and names, and you can twist them and tweak them. And yeah, you can make your own patterns. You can find free patterns. You can buy patterns. Also, there's lots of different, uh, other formats. Like I have seen stained glass window patterns that are great for intarsia for scroll sign. Yeah, there's just a million. I'll again. You gave me thousands. I already had thousands. I'll never use them, but they're there when I want them. And there's so many ideas out there.
Well, you want a great gift that you can do around the holidays, and you can do this for any holiday. The one that I do mostly probably is Thanksgiving, and that is people will absolutely adore it. You get yourself a pattern of a turkey, okay? And you can take that turkey, put it on a base, two of them, put it on a base, now glue them on there or screw them on there, 3/4 inch, paint them up nice and pretty. Now you've got a napkin holder.
Oh
And
yeah,
you can take a piece of 2x4,
yeah,
take the top of it, and just route it off to any pattern whatsoever. Drill a hole in it. Now you've got candlestick holders for that table. I
yeah,
mean, it's so see how easy, and you can bang them out in minutes.
yeah.
Minutes. Sand them up nice, paint them, or just put some oil, Danish oil on them if you want to use the natural wood, whatever. Use nice hardwood. Use your cutoffs of your 2x4s and things like that. I tell you what, I think personally, pine, old 2x4s, birch, or that type of stuff. It's underrated, and
Oh
you're going
yeah,
to throw it away. You're going to throw it away anyways. Why not just use those cutoffs for something like that? You can, and people will adore them because number one, they came from you, and number two, they were handmade for them. They will love them.
yep,
Absolutely
yeah.
adore them.
Encourage people to just think outside the box and be creative and make up your own things. And it doesn't always have to be. There's a lot of people out there who are always doing the latest project and they're doing exactly how like
Same.
everybody else.
Well,
Be
I
creative.
still get the,
Those
the
are fine, but I like to be different.
yeah, I've got thousands of patterns as you mentioned too. And you know what? I still get the new magazines because I like to see what's going on out
Yeah,
there. I like to, and besides that, someday my collection will be somebody's, benefit.
yeah,
My wife knows, give them to somebody who really wants them, who can get use out of them. And I don't care who they go to, just as long as they continue the hobby and perpetuate scroll sawing. That's what it's all about. Pass it on to
yep,
the next generation.
yep. So let's get to it, ready to wind down here.
All
Um,
righty.
how about the next? We got 13 minutes, and it'll be 2.5 hour live stream.
Oh wow, has it been that long?
Yeah.
Good
So
Lord, Marty.
I was going to share a final quote, but you know what? Actually, before that, do you want to share the 10 things you wish you knew?
10 things I wish I knew.
That sounds like an interesting one of scroll
Well,
side,
I have. Let's see here. Let me see.
or another top 10. I don't know.
Well, here's. Why don't I give you this one? This one is. I was going to do that, but I've got the. This is another one I'm going to do. Scroll saw must have accessories.
Oh
And
yeah,
again, now these are accessories, and I'll tell you what. And these are for the people because, like I say, I try to have something for everybody. This is for a scroll sawer who already does scroll sawing, but maybe wants to take himself to the next level. Okay,
I'm gonna
and
see how many. I'm gonna see how many I have. Yep,
it's probably a lot the same as yours. And by the way, not in any particular order, no order whatsoever. Obviously, a scroll saw stand. If you don't have your scroll saw on a stand buttoned down to where it's not going to wobble around or anything, and of course, a lot of these stands now come with back legs that elevate, so you can
yep.
actually make it comfortable. And
It's
when your
angled
shoulder,
for 'em.
see,
Yep.
when you're well, you can't see me obviously, but when your shoulders are like this as opposed to like this, your hands, it's much more comfortable. You know what I mean?
The
So
DeWalt and the Delta, they make them like that. So the
that's
front
right.
of the throw saw is angled down, so you're looking down at your pattern instead of
Correct.
having to. Yeah,
That's right. And correct.
and
And by
if
you know,
if you don't have one like that, just put a 2x4 or a 4x4 behind the back of your saw and elevate it.
believe it or not, two of my scroll saws, my Delta and my DeWalt, are on the tabletop. and I have them elevated with 2x4s. Now my other one, my Hegner, that came with a special. Well, actually, so did my DeWalt for that matter. But I only use that when I travel and take it down, for example. But anyway, I rarely use the stand because it's on the tabletop. Anyways, my second one, and this would be especially if you're going to do inside cuts, which I do a lot of inside cuts, not a lot per project, but I do a lot of inside cuts. Okay. And by the way, that reminds me of another project that you can do. One of the most simplistic ones. What you want to do is you can find patterns for these anywhere. Steve Good has them, and you can do them. Make napkin holders. Okay. The little round. All you do is literally cut off
Oh
the plate,
yeah.
or and then you paint them up.
Yep.
Again, use those out of your cutaways.
Well, yeah. I
These
made one out of a dove, and
Yeah,
I made them years ago, and I still have some of them, which I
you
might.
can do out of hearts for Valentine's Day. Turkey.
Yeah, and we're talking a piece that big, and so
That's
nothing
right.
to scrap.
Little Santa Clauses. You take a piece, and you can either use a big, what do they call those bits? I'm sorry, my name. They're really nice, but
A
anyway.
Forstner bit.
Thank you. And that, you just pop it on there. I'm lazy nowadays, I'll do that a lot rather than even scroll it out, because I can bang them out on my drill press just quick.
Yeah.
And then you paint them up and people love them. Anyways, the second one would be like an arm lift. Like, for example, some of the newer ones now are coming with them. And by the way, if you get a chance, I'm not trying to, I'm a pro. I like Harbor Freight. There's a lot of junk, but there's a lot of good stuff. I
Oh, they
want to
have a
tell
lot of great stuff. Yep.
folks, I want to tell you something. I went to Harbor Freight a few weeks ago and they had the brand new Harbor Freight scroll saw in. And I want to tell you something. It is just like a Pegasus. It looks exactly, or the new Rikons. It's identical except it's painted red. It is heavy, and they wanted I think it was 329, and it is rock solid. I used it, rock solid. So if you want a really decent saw at a price of a very very moderate price, that's for somebody who's not maybe necessarily starting out, but it's a great saw. I mean, it really is. I'm not, again, I
Yeah,
only tell you this because,
Menards has one that's I think it's 250 or 300,
yep,
and it's almost identical to the Delta or the DeWalt.
yep,
Matter
there
of
you
fact, the newest Delta is exactly like the DeWalt.
yep.
And the one at Menards is almost exactly like that for a couple hundred
I will,
cheaper.
I will tell you though, and Marty, in fairness, Walmart is now selling Deltas, right?
Yeah, I know. So,
They're not Deltas. No, they're not the Deltas that we know.
well,
I'm
here's the
sorry.
thing. Here's
I'm
the thing.
telling you,
First
they're
of
not.
all,
Yeah.
I've seen them at all the Walmarts. First of all, they're the lower end. It's the Delta Shopmaster.
Right.
And they're still
Exactly.
good. They're still good, but they're not as good as the other
I'd
deltas.
rather
And
find I'd rather find an old Delta used one first.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen a scroll saw yet at Walmart.
No. No.
It's the table
Well, anyway.
saws and a couple other things, but yeah, they're the lower end of the delta. But
Yep. So the second one was an arm lift, to somehow I bought a third party one for my DeWalt.
yep,
Okay. And
I
it's
got that
perfect.
too.
You just pop it up and down and it's great because it saves a lot. It's really now a foot pedal,
Yeah,
12, $14. You can buy one cheap. Harbor Freight has them for like $12.
yep,
Those things
must
are
have because then your hands are free.
Yeah, blade holder. You want to have something for your holding your blades, different, especially if you're going to use different blades. Now, a lot of people, I'm not going to badmouth spiral blades. A lot of people they will not use them. The dreaded spiral blade. Well, it depends on what you're doing. I've used spiral blades for years, and I find them very useful. Okay, that's what you want to use for your fret work. It gives you that way you don't have to do the twist and turnies and take a chance of breaking it. But a blade holder, you can and label them, little label system. A
Yep.
scrap bucket, especially when you got your saw on an angle. I have a little
You mean
bucket.
a cutoff bucket?
Yeah, yeah. You just have them down between your legs, and it slides right off right into it. You know, and those are scraps. I'm sorry, but they're scraps. When they're done, if it goes into the bucket, it's scrap.
Uh,
Oh
I
yeah,
could,
I
I can
rarely have
still,
any.
I can still do little pocket crosses or rings.
You got to be awfully darn small. A dental pick set again, $1.99 Harbor Freight. You got those little orange handled things. I have them right now. So when you sometimes, especially when you're doing 3Ds, they don't want to come out exactly. They don't slide, and sometimes they don't slide perfectly. Just poke it through.
That's a good
That's
idea. I
yeah,
have, I have the same thing, but I just have the a nail set. That's
Yeah,
what I use for that.
$1.99. The little picks come with it. I also have another set at my laser for the same reason. I put a magnet on the back and it sticks right to the side of it. It's right there. You can
Okay.
stick it right to your saw. The next one, of course, the scroll saw square that I told you about. I got a little magnet on that and it sticks right to my saw. I've got enough metal to where I can stick it on there on the stand. Comfortable stool. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't have to be perfect, but get yourself a comfortable stool, preferably with a small back if you can, because if you're going to get a sore back, especially if you don't put your saw on an angle where it's comfortable. You know.
Yeah. My
Uh,
stool now, I have one of my uh boat cushion things strapped to it for a cushion.
Yep. Yep. And then last but not least, of course, it's safety equipment. You need to have, your face mask, eye protection, ear protection. Because it does if you're going to do long sessions. And the last one I mentioned already earlier in the live is a metal file. I keep a little metal file to file all the backs of my blades when I put them in it. Now, this is a bonus section of things, and this is another step up because these things are you probably wouldn't think of it, but again, you wouldn't use them initially. This is when you become I call more proficient scroll sawer, and you're doing it seriously now. I get, for my better saws, I get the Pegasus blade chucks replacements. Those things are worth the money. They're not cheap. They're like $80 for a set of them, $84, I
So
think.
what do they look like?
Well, they're just little chucks, but they just literally two screws. You take your old ones off, and they're machine factory made, and they make your saw glide like butter. They are wonderful. I tell you, I know again, it's an expense,
So
but
a blade holder?
no, blade chucks, new
So what do you
chucks where
mean?
your blade, they're the chucks that your blade actually goes into. It's just
Yeah,
a
blade
blade.
holder.
Well, no, and the blade holder, I talk a blade holder, place to hold your spare blades before you're going to use them. These are the chucks.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean the blade holder on the
Well,
saw.
yeah, all right, you call them that, but anyway, they're worth it. Mentioned this before the
So
magnifier.
do they work on any saw?
Well, no, you have to buy them for your saw, and they're not available for every saw. You got to.
Okay.
They come
Okay. I
available
didn't
for
know they made
deltas.
those.
They come available for deltas, the Waltz, and because I have them on all.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're great. They're worth it. They're worth the money. They come in a little set, and you can take
What
your old ones off and save them.
what's
I
the
buy them
brand?
from I buy them right directly from Pegasus. I have
Pegasus
yep 2 sets. I think they
or
were
Pegasus?
last I checked they were $84.
Okay, so can you spell it? Is it Pegasus like the bird, the
Pegasus,
horse with
Pegasus,
wings?
no Pegasus,
Pegasus?
Pegas.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You can just go on. They sell them like that.
I didn't even
Um,
know that. I'll have to check that
magnifying
out.
magnifying glasses, like I told you them. I'll pull them out sometime and show them. They're great. I put them on. They like I say, they look goofy. You look like a strange person, but I don't care. I can sit there and do. I get more enjoyment out of it. When my eyes are getting tired, it's time to quit or put these on for a little bit. Another one I like is the little Seiko drill press. I bought one of them things. Those are cool. What it is, it's just a tiny little drill press, and it'll just literally you can just bump 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 bump. It saves me a ton because now I don't have to go in the other shop and put
Yeah.
it on and keep
So
changing drills.
how much are those?
I think it's like just over $100.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
I use it all the
So
time.
I have the same thing, but I have a Dremel drill press.
It'll work. Same thing. This is more
Yeah.
convenient.
What the idea is to have a mini drill press next to your scroll saw for inside cuts.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to go to your big drill press.
But
I
this
like the
one,
idea
I
too.
like this one better because you can literally pick it up with one hand and it is flat. It's a 90 degree. You're going to get a perfect 90 degree and it literally plunges. You don't have to hold the wood down and then put it under a drill press and then do this. You can literally go around bang, 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 bang like you're spinning.
Oh,
It's
nice.
beautiful.
Okay.
And it does,
Okay.
you don't really need a backer board. I use a backer board, but you don't need one and it's handy as get all get out. It really is great. And if you've got
Okay.
bottoms, you got 15 or 20 to make, you can just sit there and bang them out and be done in seconds. Another one is be a rotary toolkit. I find them to be very handy, like one with like a sanding strips or little round sanding wheels or something, or little tiny itty bitty drill things where you can get in there with little what do you call those little they're very pointed, but you can get in and get the fuzzies out. Little rotary toolkit, cheap,
Like a
cheap.
Dremel.
Yeah, like a Dremel.
Okay.
You
Okay.
don't have to spend the money for a Dremel though. I've got like two or three of them. I
Yeah.
bought real cheap ones, but I've got some decent ones. I bought one called Wogie or something like that. WOGEE, like $30. You
Okay.
plug it in, it comes with all kinds of different attachments. Um, of course, onboard storage. I like that on my scroll saw. Of course, now it's on the bench, so I don't worry about it. And then, like I use what I call a project holder jig. I made my own jig where it's a couple of long bolts with some hardwood with some wing nuts on it, and
Oh
it's so,
yeah.
so
If you're doing something real small.
real small. Yep, and like I say, sanding strips and sanding sponges and things like that you can use. That's just an extra bonus thing there that you can use for those things. There's a lot of extra things that I always. It's all stuff to make your scrolling experience a lot more enjoyable, and it's right there
So
at your desk, ready to go.
yeah. So I think I have all of those. A couple other things that I have is, well, I have a little thing. Okay, so two things. One, I made a tiny little cart. It was like 1 foot by 1 foot on wheels that I could roll around, and it was next to my scroll saw.
Hmm.
I like that because I used to mount things on my scroll saw or on the cart, but then those things vibrated off from the scroll
Right,
saw.
right,
So I made a little cart, and I don't have that anymore. Now I use my window ledge because my scroll saw is next to a window.
right.
So I would suggest either having a little cart for scroll saw accessories, or have it, on your cart or in a window. So that's one thing. And then uh, some other things I have a little cup of pencils and pens and
Yep.
scissors and a little rule. I also have some washers, and I use them for making curves on the corners of different things.
Or for
Um,
making a backer board.
right, yeah. I have a razor blade for cutting tape off. Another thing, clear packing tape is right next to my scroll saw.
Good quality clear packing tape.
Yeah, you don't want to use and um, and then I have my paste wax and sandpaper for cleaning the top of my scroll saw.
Yep. Keeping
Um,
it keeping it dust free.
Yeah, just a few other things that I have. Lots of little accessories that are just, then you don't have to get up and get them. Um, for me too, I have a cart right next to my scroll saw of things that are already traced out, ready to cut.
Yep.
Jesus words, hugs, and 3D reindeer, Christmas ornaments. They're all laid out, ready to cut, and I just grab them and make them. Um, yeah, so it's neat to have, like, for any tool really, but especially scroll sign, to have some accessories and have them right there, ready to
Um,
use.
little first aid kit right next to it. No, seriously, I got a little plastic first aid kit that I got at the grocery store with
Yep.
nice every different size because I have taken that thing and poked my finger.
Yeah.
Or I've
Yeah.
actually nicked even as experienced I am, I've nicked myself with the blade a little bit. And it's a paper cut video, but a little first aid kit I keep right there, hanging right next to, it's right on the shelf above my head right there, you
Yep.
know, and all my
I
tape's
have one
lined
in the
up.
shop too. Yep.
All my tape is lined up, and all my spray glues that I use. Some of my finishes are up there. My glasses, my safety glasses, my ear protection, that's all right there. Everything's literally I can reach it right, at a arm's reach.
Yep. Yep. Well, let's get ready to wind down. I'm going to
Yeah,
take out my do rag.
we're over. Sorry, Marty, we're over.
No, this has been fun. I'm going to get rolling a little bit, but I have a final quote, and then I wanted to let you, if you have a final quote or a thought. So my final quote is, I use it all the time, but it's one of my favorites, and it works because we've been talking about woodworking and making gifts for people and stuff in the Christmas season. We haven't talked a lot about Christmas, but we got time to do that. But I will say also, the reason I wanted to do this live is that it's not too early to start making things for craft sales. More importantly, for gifts. To Into August, start now and enjoy the whole holiday season and making gifts for people. Um,
Believe it or
and
not, I start in July. I really
yeah,
do, to getting ideas and stuff because I know going down. Well, I've got, like I say, Dave and I are going to do the trip next week. I got the convention coming up, and before I know it, get back from the convention. It's the end of October. Now you've got a month and a half.
right. And the thing is, I don't want to be in my shop. Well, I like to be in my shop in the winter at Christmas time just doing stuff for fun. I don't want
I
to be.
don't like, yeah, but I don't like to cram the last week, and I've done that
No, I
many
don't
times.
like to be stressed
There's,
making the gifts. I want to
that's
have
right.
all
You're
them
pressure,
made.
and you don't do a good job when you're pressuring yourself to get it done. And I've done that many times. And
What
last year was the first year I did it, and I was done early.
I
First
know. Yeah. I like to when it's like in December, I want to actually be maybe making next year's Christmas ornaments or making something for fun. I want to be
year.
done making gifts.
Yep, good
Um,
idea.
so here's a final quote. Yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, but oh wait. Yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. That's one of my favorites. And I don't know who originally came up with it, but Bill Keane of Family Circle, he's
Yep.
said it. Eleanor Roosevelt has said it. Also, Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda has said it. And I think Winnie the Pooh has said it. So if you know, please comment. I don't know who originally said it, but that's one of my favorite quotes.
Yep, that's right. That's a beautiful one. Yep. We used to sing a song on one of my old barbershop quartets, and the song was called "Today." And it's a beautiful song, and that's why our tenor he used to use that quote. You know, he said, yesterday, was a blank check, or excuse me, yesterday was a canceled check. It's gone. Forget it. It's over with. Tomorrow is a blank check. You can't count on it. But today is ready cash. So then we'd sing the song today. But I do have a quote for you, Marty, as a final quote. I do.
Okay. I was
Uh,
going to say if you wanted to sing, you could do that too.
oh, no, you don't want to do that.
Oh, you got a beautiful voice.
Oh, so anyway, my final quote is this: two wrongs don't make a right, three rights make a left. Think about it.
Okay, I got it.
You
Okay.
got it?
Yep, yeah, it took
Come
me a
on, you
minute.
being a truck driver, Marty, you should know
I know. Oh, yeah, I'm always going in circles. Yeah,
that. Two wrongs don't make a right, three rights make a left.
very good. Oh, this has been so fun. Thanks for being on here with me. We'll have to do this more often.
Always my
Um,
pleasure, Marty. Thanks for inviting me.
and I think the next one, I think I'll use the YouTube because then we can see the comments and answer questions and stuff.
Yeah.
This one hasn't worked out as good as far as that,
Yeah,
but
because I like to see the people.
me and you can talk enough, and um, so yeah,
Yeah, I like to see the people when they comment. I do. I said, we try to make this as inclusive as we can. I like to hear the comments because they come up with great stuff.
yeah. So Chris has been on here, and my wife has been on here, and but I know others will watch it after. And I think you can still comment after when you watch the replay. I hope so people can comment and all that stuff. And yeah,
Right. Well, you tell them, I'm sure we can both tell them, have a great day and thanks for tuning in. Appreciate them looking
yeah,
at it.
this has been wonderful. Thanks so much. I hope you have a really good day. And yeah, I'll let you go, and then I'll say a couple last minute thoughts, and then I'm gonna be done and get rolling today. And yeah,
Sounds good, Marty. Thank you again.
all right. Thanks so much. You have a
Have a great
wonderful
day.
day.
See you now.
Okay, you can leave now.
Oh, you want me to go?
Get out of here. No. Okay. Anyway, that was wonderful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just um a neat live stream, a long one. Gosh, what we had over 2 hours and 38 minutes. Thanks everybody who was on the live stream. Again, I use StreamYard. And yeah, I don't know the comments. It is a great service. But I think I'm gonna from now on do them on YouTube, right on my channel. But anyway, this will be on later. You can watch the replay. Hope you enjoyed it. Just wanted to give some ideas of different things we can make and talk woodworking with my friend Robert. Um, and yeah, one last thought, as far as we're talking about going into the holiday season, the Christmas season, and celebrating Jesus' birth and that he came to save us, and uh, uh, and making gifts, and it's really fun doing woodworking and making gifts, and you can use there's all different ways. You have different gifts, and don't forget to like and subscribe and give a thumbs up. Robert just said he's Bob's World. By the way, his YouTube channel is Bob's World, so go check him out. He makes wonderful videos too, and he's going to be doing more, I think. And yeah, also check out uh, Sunshine Legacy is my wife, and she's got wonderful videos on there too. And all of our friends, CW62 and White Wolf Adventures, and Two Flipped, and the Wood Gnome, and other our other friends, and check out their channels, and all the YouTube channels that I mentioned. Please check out their channels, and if you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my channel and my videos. Please go watch my other videos, over 600 of my adventures, uh, and I have a ton, hundreds of woodworking videos and scroll saw videos and tips and tricks and stuff. And again, it's just stuff I've learned. So please go watch those videos if you want. I have a few videos just talking on, I think I have at least two videos. Just go back through my videos, look on woodworking, scroll sign, or Christmas playlist. And there's things talking about things that you can make for gifts for the Christmas season and stuff. So please go watch those. And yeah. But anyway, as we're making gifts out of wood in other ways, you have other different ways of crafting and different things. To me, one of the best gifts we can give somebody is time. And especially in the days today, there's so much chaos and tragedy in the world, and hard things and struggles and trials in our own lives, but just taking time to be with people, be with our family and friends, or with our spouses, with our kids and grandkids, and being with people just who we meet on, on the road in our daily lives, that just need somebody to listen, to just have a cup of coffee with, and just take time. Yeah, family get-togethers, whether they're individual or big get-togethers, spending time with friends, and celebrating church activities at Christmas season and all through all the holidays and stuff. Just take time for each other. That's what I just encourage us all to do. I want to do that more this year. Um, and yeah, I'm running out of words, and yeah, it's been a long live stream. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I know a lot of people watch it after it's done. I'm gonna get ready to start trucking, and I don't know where I'll be today. Casper, Rapid City, somewhere out in South Dakota, I'm guessing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna get real far today. I only have 5 hours and 47 minutes for the whole day. That includes stopping and different things. So, but I'm gonna get rolling. This has been fun. Thanks so much for being with us. And I'm gonna try to do a live stream every week if I can. Probably Saturdays, and sometimes I'll have a guest, and just sharing my life. And yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and being with me on this live stream on a Saturday morning. And thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.